A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The life of Mary Sothern, the human and appealing story of a young widow too proud to accept security, but not too proud to struggle to achieve it. The life of Mary Sothern, the human and appealing story of a young widow too proud to accept security, but not too proud to struggle to achieve it. Achieve it. And now, the life of Mary Sothern. Only a woman who has been left destitute by the death of her husband will fully understand the difficulties facing Mary in her determined effort to support herself and her children. Mary is aware of the obstacles to be overcome, but she is facing the future with fresh confidence and courage now that her twins, Susan and Jimmy, are in Craig's Falls. Her new friends, young David Drake and Father Brady, trusting her instinctive judgment that she must build a different life in new surroundings, have finally prevailed upon Mary's old friend, Dr. John Benson, to bring the children to Craig's Falls to be cared for at the neighborhood house till Mary is able to support them. Yesterday, Mary, overcome with joy at her reunion with her children, promised David to justify his faith in her by letting nothing discourage her in her search for a job. Our scene opens early the following morning. Mary, after a visit to her children at the neighborhood house nursery, is entering Father Brady's office. He welcomes her cordially.
Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Father.
You're up bright and early today.
Oh, I woke up at 6 o'clock wondering if I dreamed that Susan and Jimmy were here in Craig's Falls.
So you hurried down here to the nursery to see if it was really true.
Yes, and unless I'm still dreaming, it is true. Oh, how can I ever thank you for what you've done? You and David have been such real friends. I wonder if you realize what it means to know that you believe in me.
Yes, Mary, I think I know. None of us is strong enough to go through life alone.
Oh, I found that out last week. It's so darned hard to be self-confident when you're looking for a job and no one gives you even a single ray of hope. It was especially hard for me because I kept wondering if I was right in wanting to stay here in Craig's Falls.
David and I believed you were right, but it was a decision which you alone could make. And we wanted to give you plenty of time to reconsider if you wanted to. You know, I don't believe any man or woman is faced with a major decision more than 2 or 3 times in his life. But when he is, the consequences rest with him. He must follow the course he has chosen to the end. There's no turning back.
That's exactly the way I feel now. I've broken all ties with Sanders in the past. A new life began for me yesterday when I knew that my children were here in Craig's Falls.
A new life and a happy life, I believe, Mary.
If I find only contentment, I'll be grateful. Oh, that reminds me, I woke up this morning feeling that something nice was going to happen today.
I think it usually does when you feel that way.
And I feel lucky, almost lucky enough to find a job.
You'll find one eventually, Mary. I'm sure of that.
If you knew what it means to me to hear you say that. Your belief in me is going to give me the self-confidence I need. You know, I don't think I've had the right attitude about finding a job. I guess I've been too meek and apologetic about my lack of experience. I think I had a defeatist attitude. But from now on, everything's going to be different. When an employer asks those horrible questions about my years of experience, I'm not going to give up without a struggle.
Good for you.
And if things seem too discouraging and I'm tempted to give up, I'm going to think hard of Susan and Jimmy. And of you and David believing in me. Oh, don't you see, I just got to prove that I'm able to help myself. I can't fail.
You won't fail, Mary. Now, what's your campaign for today? Where are you going to apply first for a job?
Well, I thought I'd go to that little restaurant where David and I talked the first night we met, and I'll take any job I can get, a cook or dishwasher, waitress, anything I can get. You know, I feel sentimental about that funny little restaurant, and I'm playing a hunch, as Max used to say. If that fails...
Now, Mary, there's the defeatist attitude again.
Right. Thanks for reminding me. Well, I'm on my way to that restaurant now, Father, and I'm going to get a job. There's that better.
Much better. And all the luck in the world.
A short while later, Mary, fortified with a cup of coffee at the counter in the little restaurant, approaches the sour-faced, middle-aged man behind the cash register.
Could you tell me where I can find the proprietor? I see by the sign in the window that his name is Mr. Ned Barker.
It must be so if you see it in the window.
Well, I don't like your attitude. I asked you a civil question, and I'd appreciate an answer. I'd like to see Mr. Barker.
Well, what do you want to see him about?
I'd rather discuss that with him if you don't mind.
I do mind. Never talk to women if I can help it.
If you can help it. Well, you're not Mr. Ned Barker.
And why not?
Oh, there's no reason why you shouldn't be, only I thought you were the waiter.
I am.
Then you're really Mr. Barker?
That's what my mother always told me. First name Ned, last name Barker. But, of course, if you have any objections to my...
Oh, no, none at all. It's an interesting name. But if you're the cashier and the waiter and the proprietor, too, you must keep terribly busy. Wouldn't you like some help?
Not being sarcastic, are you? There's only been one customer in here in the past hour besides you. That truck driver who just went out.
Then that proves that you need help. What good's a restaurant without customers?
Say, if you're getting started on one of them questions and answer games...
Mr. Barker, I came here today to apply for a job.
Why'd you say so in the first place? The answer's no.
Well, Mr. Barker, I have all sorts of ideas to help you.
No woman ever had an idea worth listening to. Never had a woman working in my place. I never will.
Mr. Barker, will you let me discuss your restaurant very frankly for a minute?
I can see you're going to do it whether I let you or not.
I think you like frankness as much as I do, so here goes. Now, I need a job, and you need more customers. Am I right so far?
I don't know about you needing a job, but a few more customers wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Well, I'm sure I can help you improve business and get those customers if you just let me.
You're wasting your time, lady. Women only cause trouble around a restaurant or anywhere else.
If I had anything to do with this restaurant, I'd find out why that husky truck driver left half a piece of pie on his plate.
What? Oh. Yeah. So he did. Well, maybe he's got dyspepsia like me. He might as well eat chunks of lead as pie.
I think that truck driver was on his way to another restaurant to get a good piece of pie.
Pie is pie. It's all poison.
Oh, say, I'd just like you to taste a piece of my apple pie someday. And I'd love to give you cook a few lessons if you'd let me.
Like to be around when you try to teach Otto how to cook.
Mr. Barker, don't you see that there's a definite connection between your food and your lack of customers and, well... also, your dyspepsia.
My dyspepsia is my own business. Don't know how I come to mention that in the first place. Now, look here, lady.
My name's Mary Sothern, but of course, if I'm going to work here, it'd be easier for you to call me by my first name, Mary.
If you're going to work, listen here.
But food, of course, isn't your only problem, Mr. Barker. Now, look out that window.
What for?
Look at those cars just whizzing past. Do any of them stop here?
Not unless they break down or run out of gas.
Well, you're truthful about it anyway. Have you ever wondered why they don't stop? You're on a through motor highway. You should have a good tourist business.
What do you want me to do? Block the road, hold them up?
Oh, you can make them stop more easily than that. It'd be such fun doing it if you just give me a chance.
Doing what?
Now, no motorist is going to stop at a place that looks as shabby as this place does. But don't you see, you could change things so easily. Now, some nice cheerful curtains for the windows and some pots of ivy and flowers.
Ivy, flowers. And would you like to change the name to Ye Old Coffee Shoppy?
No, indeed. This isn't the neighborhood for a fancy tea room, and I don't like them anyway. Oh, won't you please give me a chance to help turn this into a real restaurant?
I suppose you didn't hear me when I told you business is bad and I can't hire anybody.
Mr. Barker, I played a hunch coming here today, and now that I've talked to you, I know I was right. Now, I don't expect you to take me on faith.
Well, mighty glad to hear that.
You didn't have to tell me business is bad. I can see that. But will you take a chance on me for a week? Will you let me work for a week at no salary just to prove what I can do for you?
I don't know.
Well, now, you couldn't lose anything, could you?
No. Nothing but your meals.
Well, if the rest of the food's as bad as that pie, you needn't worry about losing much on the food I eat.
I know. No good will come of this.
Then you'll give me a chance? You take me on trial for a week starting tomorrow?
I suppose I couldn't lose much, but I'm probably making the mistake of my life. First time I ever let a woman talk me into anything.
You won't regret it, Mr. Barker.
Don't be too sure.
Oh, but I am sure. Now that you've given me a chance to work, I can't fail. I'm going to make a success of this job because I have to. You'll never regret this, Mr. Barker. I promise you.
Apparently, Mary has performed a minor miracle in persuading the dyspeptic Ned Barker to give her a trial job. But will it lead to permanent employment, even if she does fulfill her promise and make radical improvements in the drab little restaurant? So Mary, inspired with new confidence, the knowledge that her children are with her once again, has refused to take no for an answer. But can Mary make good her confident promise and prove her ability to Ned Barker in one short week? And what sort of employer will Ned Barker prove to be? Isn't it possible that he has no intention of engaging her permanently? We'll hear more of her new job, and we'll learn her friends' reactions to the job tomorrow, when another episode is presented in the life of Mary Sothern.
Here is Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Last Friday was Student Government Day, a day upon which the entire administration of the city is handed over to high school pupils who have been elected by their classmates. Well, ordinarily, our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, would have very little to do with this event.
But unfortunately, Miss Johnson, the civics teacher, took ill on Thursday, and our principal, Mr. Conklin, suggested that I take over her class. Of course, I didn't have to accept the assignment. I just figured that teaching is better than being totally unemployed. In some states, it's better. At any rate, I conducted Miss Johnson's civics class on Thursday, and on the subject, what would I do if I held public office, the class and I had quite a spirited discussion. And in view of later developments, I'm sorry I didn't listen. But Friday morning finally rolled around, and the entire student body and faculty gathered in the assembly hall to hear Mr. Conklin officially proclaim it Student Government Day. Mr. Boynton, my bashful biologist, was sitting in the front row. And accidentally, with the aid of two bloodhounds, I found myself sitting right next to him.
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks.
Why, Mr. Boynton, this is a surprise. To you, anyway.
I didn't see you sit down. I believe I left my notebook on that seat. It is just some lecture notes on the North American porcupine.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Boynton, I didn't even notice it. He must have pulled in his quills. Here you are.
Oh, thanks. I'll just hold it in my lap.
Why don't we let the notebook have the seat and you could hold... No, not in school like that.
You know, Miss Brooks, something just occurred to me. We're always sitting next to each other in assembly. Fate seems to be throwing us together.
Compared to my throwing, fate is a sandlot pitcher. But perhaps you're right, Mr. Boynton. Maybe we should give fate a helping hand. I'm free for lunch today. How about you? Or would you rather ask me? Or am I being too subtle? Oh, darn that bell. I'll have to get him in the next round.
Students, faculty members, and honored guests. First of all, as your principal, I would like to announce that because this is Student Government Day, school will be suspended. Please, please, please. I sympathize with your disappointment. As you know, Student Government Day has been tried successfully in many other communities. And I have always been ready to experiment in any progressive plan to foster good citizenship. That is why you see before you on this platform our honored guest, Mayor Rimson. Now, Mayor Rimson, would you care to say a few words?
Of course not. He only brought those 9 pages along to put his gum in.
Thank you, Mr. Conklin, for your generous introduction. As I look out upon this ocean of young, eager, intelligent faces, a tide of emotion swells up in me.
I'm getting a little seasick myself.
And as I think of the glorious future which this community can look forward to at the hands of these youths, I am deeply touched. I have always been well informed on the affairs of young people.
He ought to be. He's kissed so many babies you can't see his tie for the pablum.
And so it is with considerable pride that I now inaugurate for the first time in this community Student Government Day. Therefore, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you your duly elected mayor, Miss Harriet Conklin.
You may applaud now.
Thank you. My constituents, friends, and Mayor Rimson, I intend to show this community something new and different by making my term of office a clean and honest administration.
Well, now,
We will not tolerate graft and corruption.
we know.
Thank you, Harriet Conklin.
As Miss Brooks said in our civics class yesterday, the racketeers must go, no matter what politician is protecting them.
Oh, that Miss Brooks certainly is a card.
That will be all, Harriet. Did you really say that in civics class?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Mayor Rimson, allow me to apologize for my daughter's enthusiasm. She was obviously referring to the aims of city government in general, without realizing that those aims have already been attained in our community.
Gosh. And now, it is my extreme pleasure to introduce the student who has been elected your chief of police, Walter Denton.
Thank you, friends. As your incumbent police chief, I cannot re-emphasize too forcefully the remarks Miss Brooks made in civics class yesterday. To wit, every crook and grafter who has been mulching the city treasury of funds has got...
Thank you, Chief of Police Walter Denton.
I haven't finished my speech.
Oh, yes, you have, Denton.
Mr. Conklin, as Miss Brooks said just yesterday...
This is not a symposium on the memoirs of Miss Brooks. Or maybe it is. Miss Brooks, you here?
No, I couldn't make it today.
What's that? Oh, there you are. Before we go any further, isn't there something you'd like to say?
Yes, sir. Is there a doctor in the house? You sent for me, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, Miss Brooks, I did. In spite of my abject apologies, Mayor Rimson left here in a very ugly mood. Now, Miss Brooks, just what happened in civics class yesterday?
Well, we had an open discussion, and somebody opened it wider than I realized. But we only discussed corrupt city administrations in general, Mr. Conklin. We made no specific mention of Mayor Rimson's corrupt administration.
Never mind what you mean. Thanks to you, we've got a band of young malcontents on our hands. Why, not 5 minutes ago, a student delegation was in here demanding a 3-day school week. And that's not all. They also informed me that they would like a 4-hour day, starting from the moment they leave home till the moment they arrive back there. That's portal to portal.
Next thing you know, they'll be wanting time and a half for leaving the room.
There's no telling how far this thing can go. They've got the whip hand. They're in public office today. Student Government Day indeed. Whoever thought up that crack-brained idea ought to have his head examined.
Bend over, Mr. Conklin.
What?
It was your idea.
Oh, well, don't change the subject. There's no telling As I was saying, there's no telling what that student reform party is capable of doing. Miss Brooks, it's up to you to see that they stay out of mischief.
But, Mr. Conklin, you said this was a holiday, and I've got a very important lunch date to make.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Brooks, you've got to chaperone those students.
But, Mr. Conklin...
Dismissed,
But,
Miss Brooks. I said fall out. On the double.
Aye, aye, sir. Fine way to spend a holiday, chaperoning a bunch of... What am I running about? I'm halfway down the hall. Well, that's funny. I stopped right outside Mr. Boynton's biology lab. Well, I might as well go in now that I'm here.
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks. Well, say, I hope Mr. Conklin wasn't too severe with you.
Not at all, Mr. Boynton. How are you at setting bones? And speaking of lunch, which you weren't, the date we almost had but didn't quite because you didn't get around to asking me, and which I was going to talk you into, but which I would have had to cancel because Mr. Conklin wants me to chaperone the students who are acting as government officials today.
Oh, just a minute, Miss Brooks. I can't quite follow you.
Me either, Mr. Boynton. I suppose I'm trying to apologize for standing you up.
When?
Today.
You were supposed to have lunch with me today?
How nice of you to ask me. Shall we say those front steps in 15 minutes?
Oh, but...
I just want to powder my nose and fix up a bit.
But you said something about chaperoning the...
Oh, that can wait till after lunch. See you in a little while, Mr. Boynton. I wonder if I'm playing too hard to get. Now, if I can just avoid Her Honor the Mayor and Walter Denton.
Walter, there's Miss Brooks.
Hiya, Miss Brooks. We've been looking for you.
I've been lurking from you, too.
Miss Brooks, as mayor of this community, I feel that I have you to thank for many of my high ideals.
Me too, Miss Brooks. When you stood up in civics class yesterday with a kind of glowing, luminous light emanating from your skull and your chalk poised in front of the blackboard, you know who you reminded me of?
Joan of Arc at the Battle of the Erasers. Look, kids, I promised Mr. Conklin I'd chaperone you today, but I have...
Miss Brooks. We're really going to clean up this town.
You have no idea what's going on in this town, Miss Brooks. If you'll just stick with us, we'll show you graft and corruption, infamy and greed.
I'd rather have Mr. Boynton show me spaghetti and meatballs. Now, if you'll just keep quiet about it, I'll meet Mr. Boynton for lunch.
Lunch? But what about the ideas of decent, honest government that you had yesterday?
Yeah, and don't you want to be in it to kill?
Who are we killing?
I'm afraid we'll have to take an executive action, Walter.
Right. Miss Brooks, I assume you still believe in obedience to duly elected authority?
Of course I do, Walter.
Then, as chief of police, I hereby appoint you deputy sheriff. For the rest of the day, Miss Brooks, you'll take orders from me.
But, Walter...
Silence?
Oui, mon capitaine.
Here, with this badge, I hereby make you a deputy sheriff.
Look, Walter, to you I'm a deputy sheriff, and to Harriet I'm a deputy sheriff. But to a deputy sheriff, am I a deputy sheriff? You'd better pull over, Walter.
Why, Miss Brooks? Oh, the siren. No, that's on our car. I put it on this morning.
I don't want to see insubordinate, Chief, but just where are we going?
To the Jackpot Amusement Company's warehouse.
We've been watching the place for weeks, Miss Brooks, in preparation for today. And we've seen truckloads of slot machines delivered there.
Slot machines?
Sure. The kind they put in the back of candy stores where little school kids can spend their lunch money in a futile effort to get rich quick.
You know, where you pull a lever and try to hit as many bumpers as possible.
Oh, the game I play in my car.
Bad. It's the one-armed bandits that keep the kids broke. Oh, they're all fixed.
Fixed?
Sure. If a machine pays back more than 5 cents on the dollar, they break its arm.
Here we are, the Jackpot Amusement Company.
What are we going to do here?
We're going to raid the place.
We three?
No, there's another bunch of kids coming any minute. You see, the fire commissioner had to go home and change his pants. He tore him sliding down the pole at the firehouse. Well, are you all ready, men?
Speaking for some of us, men, no.
Now, when I blow my police whistle, we'll charge.
Sorry, I don't have an account here.
Let's go.
I'm with you, Walter.
Oh, now, Walter, Harriet, listen. Let's go to a movie.
Open up in the name of the law. Are you going to open up, or do we have to break it in?
Walter, please.
Stand in back of Miss Brooks, Harriet.
Oh, fine. Now they're going to use me for a battering ram.
What's going on out here?
Trick or treat.
What's that?
Are Are you one of the employees of the Jackpot Amusement Company?
What if I am?
You're under arrest.
What?
Miss Brooks, you're a deputy sheriff. Arrest this man.
Pull over to the curb, bud.
Look, lady, I'm a busy man. Why don't you just take your kids over to the playground and shove them down a sharp slide? Now beat it.
Oh, resisting arrest, eh? This may go hard with you, my good man.
What's going on here? Who blew the police whistle?
I did. Officer, arrest this man.
What did he do? You try to get fresh with you, lady.
No, and that's the story of my life.
And what do you want him arrested for?
Yours not the reason why. As your chief of police, I gave an order. Your duty is to obey.
How does that go again, Sonny?
You heard him, officer. As mayor, I decree that you arrest this individual.
Now, let me get this straight. You're the mayor, and he's the chief of police. Ah. Who are you, lady?
I'm Joan of Arc, and stop breathing on my armor.
I do not wish to be rude, but I have to go in now. You see, I am Little Miss Muffet, and I have to go sit on my tuffet for a while.
This is your last chance, officer. Arrest that man in there, or tomorrow you'll be pounding a beat in a swamp.
Oh, pounding a beat in the swamp, is it?
Do you realize this is insubordination?
Oh, insubordination, is it?
You've just got to arrest that man.
Oh, arrest that man, is it?
This is getting monotonous, was it?
Look, folks, why don't you all run along and we'll forget about the whole thing?
Oh, that settles it. Miss Brooks, arrest this policeman.
Arrest this policeman, is it?
Now, don't start that again. Will you go quietly, or do I have to use the bracelet?
Take it easy, lady. We'll settle this in a minute.
That doesn't frighten anybody. I got one of those, too.
Good for you, Sonny.
Some people don't seem to be familiar with the Constitution of the United States, which says, we, the people of the United States
Or
of America,
for that matter, the
in order to
Declaration
form a
of
more
Independence,
perfect union,
says,
establish justice.
Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum, and along came the Black Mariah. Guard! Oh, guard!
That's no use, Miss Brooks. He won't even listen to us.
Let me call him. After all, I'm still mayor.
Fine mayor. She's been in office 6 hours, and the whole administration's up the river.
What's your fault is mine. You and your police whistle.
Now, don't start bickering, children. Maybe if we behave ourselves, they'll make us trustees. Hello out there. Oh, guard. Jailer. Turnkey.
Shut up!
My, what ill-bred screws.
Yes, Mrs. Denton, I'll call you the minute I hear from Walter. Goodbye. Imagine that, Martha. Mrs. Denton wanted me to call the police department. How would they know where her son Walter is? I can't understand it, Martha.
You can't understand what, Osgood?
That's the fifth parent who's called me up to ask why her child hasn't come home for dinner yet. You'd think they'd keep track of their children and not suddenly discover at 7 o'clock that they haven't come home for dinner yet. By the way, where's Harriet?
She hasn't come home for dinner yet.
What? Well, don't just stand there. Do something. Call Miss Brooks. I put the children in her charge. Call the police. The Bureau of Missing Persons. Get the district attorney. Contact the mayor. Find out if there's somebody else. Why don't they... Well, maybe you could get hold of them. But I don't know what you're just standing there for. I'm here. Why you gonna... Why don't you do something? Get going.
Osgood! Sometimes you sound like a walrus caught in a turkey staff. I did call Miss Brooks. Mrs. Davis says she wasn't home yet. Poor woman. She's had dinner on since 6. She's terribly worried about her stewed tomatoes.
Please stop sniveling about Mrs. Davis's tomatoes. We've got our own tomato to worry about.
Please, dear, calm down a little. Here, have some fruit. It's very good for the nerves.
I don't want any fruit. Oh, that's probably Harriet now. I'll answer it. I must lose my temper. I must be calm. Hello?
Osgood, you're talking in a banana.
No wonder with the house all cluttered up with fruit bowls. That you, Harriet?
No, Osgood. This is Margaret Davis.
Oh.
I just had a call from Miss Brooks.
You have?
Yes, Osgood. Harriet, Walter Denton, and several of the other students are with her.
Oh, well, thank heaven. Tell me, Margaret, where are the children and Miss Brooks?
They're in jail, Osgood.
Fine. You see, Martha, I told you there was nothing to worry about. Miss Brooks and the children are all in jail. Martha, take this phone out of my hands and put back the banana.
Prisoners, young fella. You may talk with them, but don't try to pass anything through the bar.
Oh, thank you.
Where's Mr. Boynton?
Hi, Mr. Boynton. We've been framed.
About that luncheon date, I don't think I can make it.
What is all this, Miss Brooks?
Haven't you heard? We're celebrating Student Convict Day.
We were only doing our duty as public servants. But Mayor Rimpson must have forgotten to notify any of the other authorities.
Yeah, we raided some racketeers, and the next thing we knew, we were in the pie wagon.
Well, they have no right to hold you here. Oh, officer. Officer.
What is it now?
Why, there's been a mistake. Please open this cell and let these people out of here.
Oh, let these people out of here, is it?
Well, yes, it just happens that I've had quite a bit of legal training in addition to my biological background, and I can tell you that you have no legal basis upon which to hold them any longer.
Good for you, Mr. Boynton.
I'm telling him, Mr. B.
And furthermore, I'm sure you don't want to get into any trouble.
Oh, I don't I?
Tell him you'll have him pounding a beet in the swamp.
If you persist in this belligerent attitude, you're liable to be pounding a beet in a swamp.
That's done it.
I knew you'd see it my way.
At last, Mr. Boynton, just you and I and the children.
Absurd. I don't belong in this cell.
Now behave yourself, or I'll put you in solitary.
Oh, there you are, Connie.
Why, it's Mrs. Davis.
I would have been here sooner, but I just had to stop at the mass meeting.
What mass meeting, Mrs. Davis?
Oh, Mr. Boynton is with you. How nice.
Please, Mrs. Davis, we've got to get out of here now. If you'll only...
Everybody in town was there, Connie. And I told them what you said to me on the phone about Student Government Day being run all wrong.
Good for you, Mrs. Davis. Now maybe we'll get some action.
Where's the Brooks cell?
The line forms on your left.
I also told those parents how you said that if you had been running Student Government Day instead of Mr. Conklin, there wouldn't have been so much dunderheaded bumbling.
Bumbling?
Oh, hello, Osgood. We were just talking about you.
Anybody want to buy a used teacher's license?
Well, I guess I'll be running along. Now that Mr. Conklin's here, I'm sure there's nothing further to worry about.
Miss Brooks, how could you... Why did you have to... When were you...
Oh, please, Mr. Conklin, remember your blood pressure.
It wasn't Miss Brooks' fault, Daddy. Don't blame her.
And you, Harriet, in prison. How could you do this to me? My own flesh and blood.
If you've got his blood, Harriet, you better watch your pressure, too.
Quiet, gentlemen. Miss Brooks, my painful duty to inform you that you are under suspension for conduct unbecoming a teacher. Have you anything to say in your own defense?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like a new trial.
On what ground?
On the grounds that I'm not doing so well in this one.
We'll discuss that at the proper time. Meanwhile, you children remain here in Mr. Boynton's charge until I can arrange to have... Mr. Boynton? Hello, Mr. Conklin. What in the world are you doing here? I'm just visiting, Mr. Conklin.
One of those guests you just can't get rid of.
Well, we'll see all about this. I'm going straight to Mayor Rimson's office. I'll handle this matter personally. Well, what'll I do in the meantime?
With a little luck, 30 days.
You've done a lot for me, H.J., but I can't understand why we're dumping this slot machine deal.
Because it's too hot, Mayor. Besides, our cut ain't big enough. Also, the people are up in arms.
The people? What do they know about it?
Ed, I'm surprised at you. What do my initials stand for? H.J., Honest Jim.
I'm the people's friend, Ed, and we got an election coming up. We can't afford to let the people get upset, or the first thing you know, they'll start thinking for themselves. And then where are we?
Okay, Jim, okay. I'll have the jackpot company get rid of those machines right away.
No, I've got a better idea. Ed, you're going to make yourself a hero with every parent in this community.
Huh?
You're going to let the kids do this job, the kids who were elected to public office for this one day.
Wonderful, Jim, wonderful. I'll call all my department heads, and I'll tell them the students holding office that I have complete authority.
Fine, Ed. It's democracy in action. That's what it is.
Yes, sir, democracy in action. And Mayor Remsen is solidly behind it. Until after election.
Which one of you is Mayor Harriet Conklin?
I am.
Step out, please. Now, which one of you is Chief of Police Denton?
Oh, that's me.
Come on out. I've had orders to release the both of you.
Oh, but what about Miss Brooks and myself?
Sorry, my orders didn't say anything about you two.
But I insist that you release them immediately.
Quiet, Walter. Orders are orders.
Once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, in spite of everything, Walter and Harriet got us out of jail promptly. And that wasn't the only thing Student Government Day accomplished. The racketeers left town almost immediately. In fact, the very next day, Walter took me out to the jackpot warehouse for a last look at the place.
Pretty deserted now, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Walter. Let's go in and see if they've cleaned out the slot machine.
I'm going to look around in back, Miss Brooks.
Go ahead, Walter. Hey, here's one of those nickel machines. What a racket. Naturally, 2 lemons and an anchovy. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Crime does not pay.
Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, was produced and directed by Larry Burns, written by Arthur Alsberg and Al Lewis, with the music of Lud Bluskin. Mr. Conklin was played by Gail Gordon. This program came to you from the Frankfurt studios of the American Forces Network Europe and was prepared for rebroadcast over this network by specialist Ed Barron.
Of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You never guess, but Avalon's cost you less.
So why not always travel on with Avalon? Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time with greetings from Red Foley and the entire company. But first tonight, it's my pleasure to bring you an honest comedian, if there ever was one, and I doubt it, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Easter greetings to you. How are you tonight, Del? What's new?
Oh, how about that $5 I loaned you after the program last week?
Nothing new, eh, Del? I feel great tonight. Right after the show, I'm going to fly to Washington, D.C., I have a lot of Easter eggs I want to have colored, and I'd like to get an estimate from the Dice Committee. Speaking of Easter eggs, I have a Paul Parrot at home who's asleep this afternoon. I walked over and put a big chocolate egg in his cage, and when he woke up, he looked at the egg and he says, "It's alive!"
Hello, Skelton.
hello, microphone.
Hey, where'd you get that suit?
Oh, it's a William Robertson Rockefeller.
I didn't think it looked like a one-man job. Hey, what's that bulge in the back?
That's the tailor. He's still working on it. Where's he in a hurry? He goes, my back's killing me. I've been scrubbing and cleaning all day. Boy, you should see my knees. You can always tell when it's time for spring cleaning around our house. Mother starts by throwing out the Christmas tree. I didn't realize how dirty our house was until one of the neighbor's dogs came in and tried to bury a bone in our living room. I scrubbed that house from top to bottom. I even washed the wallpaper. I'll hang it back up tomorrow. Oh, when I came to the goldfish bowl right by the window, I wanted all the neighbors to think I was a college graduate, so I ate them. Oh, not bad, huh? I had a bet on that when they said it wouldn't get anything. See, I was cleaning out the... You know, when you clean house, you usually run across a lot of stuff that's been missing for a long time. I pulled down the window shade, and I found a pair of pants I've been pressing for 3 years. I was going through one of my old suits, and what do you think I found? My wife's brother. Boy, there's a lazy character for you. But, lazy people are usually taken care of. He stood in one spot so long that a tree grew up and dropped an apple in his pocket. I made a little mistake while I was cleaning, though. I got the floor polish mixed up with a hair restore. Every time the maid brushes the floor, she has to part it in the middle. Oh, what a maid. She's not very efficient. I said to her, I can write my name in the dust on the piano. She says, you can? Education's a marvelous thing, isn't it? She's been with us for 3 years, and she just found out there was a second floor to our apartment. She thought the stairway was for the old man to fall down every Saturday night. She's all right as maids go, and as maids go, she went. Look, when I got through cleaning the house, there was so much dirt in my vacuum cleaner, Walter Winchell made me an offer for it. That's enough dusting for me. Phil Davis and the boys will now dust off Honolulu from the picture of the same name. Okay, Phil. Once over lightly, boy. Once over
Hello there, Skelton.
Hiya, Peter Grant.
Hey, funny thing, Red. Last night I
I had a long conversation with an Avalon cigarette.
Oh, that's much.
Yeah.
Had a long conversation with an Avalon?
Yeah.
You feel all right, Peter?
Oh, yes, sir, yes. Red, I wouldn't mind being an Avalon cigarette. They really get around, those Avalons.
Oh, yeah.
That's because they're highest quality and still they cost 3 to 5 cents less than other popular price brands.
Strange man. Makes sense, though.
Well,
tell me more about the conversation, Pete.
Well, Sir Red, this Avalon cigarette I was speaking to was a fine fellow.
Yeah?
Highest quality, and what a family background.
Oh.
On one side, he comes from choice Turkish tobacco, and on the other, from finest quality domestic tobacco. Gee, what a perfect blend, Red. That's why Avalons give you such a mild, extra smooth, thoroughly enjoyable smoke. Honestly, Red, you'd never guess they cost you less.
Oh, no? You want to be an Avalon, huh?
Oh, I know you must think it's sort of foolish of me to have such high and mighty ambitions, but, I guess I'm just a dreamer.
Oh, no, you're not now, Pete.
Well, but, Red, just think of being wrapped up with 19 other swell Avalons in a nice, bright red and silver package.
Gee. They're going to wrap you up in something, Pete. But it ain't going to be a pack of Avalons. Say, where did this conversation take place?
In my dream.
Oh,
so naturally, when the alarm clock rang, can you blame me for hearing?
Don't forget your change.
You're all right, Peter. Just a little sleep happy. I'll see you later, Pete.
Okay, Skelton, and meanwhile, buy a pack of Avalons and save the difference.
Okay.
The other Red on our program, friends, the boy who likes to sing the songs you request and the songs he thinks you'll like. Red Foley.
Thank you, Del, and howdy, folks. For my first song tonight, I've selected the popular new ballad, Rainbow Valley. A little introduction, please, Mr. Phil. While we're there, down in Rainbow Valley, maybe we'll be pals, maybe we'll fall in love. There's stormy weather in your eyes, and it's cloudy above. Let's get together, you and I, where there's sunshine and love. Skies are fair down in Rainbow Valley, where sweet Sue and Sally linger with Jim and Joe. Roses red bloom in Rainbow Valley. There we'll dilly-dally down where the lovers go. It's only a hollow so peaceful and still. Follow the swallows across yonder hill. While we're there, down in Rainbow Valley, maybe we'll be pals, maybe we'll fall in love.
We don't think you'd care to be there right now, friends, but we do think you'll care for Bob Strong's arrangement of it, In a Little Spanish Town. And now, folks, instead of giving you the usual business, we bring you something stupendous, something colossal, in an anemic sort of way. Tonight, we offer you a special preview of one of the main attractions of the New York World's Fair, Red Skelton's Flea Circus.
Yes, Miss Stillwell, bring that box of fleas over here, will you?
A fine job playing nursemaid to a bunch of fleas.
Well, you should talk. Last night you were out dancing with a jitterbug.
Well, at least he didn't try to make a free lunch out of me.
Yeah. Well, now, just because you don't like them now, handle them easy. They're awful temperamental. I forgot to feed them this morning.
Did they get mad?
Mad? They hopped all over me. Now, careful taking the lid off there. Hiya, Joy. Hiya, Phil. Yeah, say, isn't they cute?
They're not cute to me.
Oh, you like them in time. There's something about a flea that gets under your skin.
They won't get under my skin. I've got flea powder in my compact.
You wouldn't dare.
Say, how are you going to get to New York anyhow?
I don't know. I've been over to the bank all day trying to borrow some money on my collateral.
How'd you come out?
On my collateral. Gee, I wish you'd play ball with me and lend me some money.
I played ball with you so much they were after me today to join the big league.
Come in.
I can't open the door.
That's Hercules. Open the door for him. What is this?
Oh, I've had a terrible time, Mr. Skelton.
Hey, get that animated ball of yarn out of here.
Quiet, Sneaky, quiet.
Sneaky?
Oh, yes, you see, I call him Sneaky because he's got a sheepish look about him.
Say, what is this? Something left over from an attack of Unthumnia?
Oh, no, Mr. Skelton.
I know. He thinks he's Little Bo Peep.
Quiet, sheepy. Well, what do you want to do with him, Mr. Skelton?
What do I want to do with him?
Well, isn't that what you told me to bring here tonight?
I told you to bring some fleas.
Oh, dear, I thought you said fleece.
No, fleas. I'm going to have the flea circus at the World's Fair. Yes, sir. All I need is a little dough to get there on. Could you lend me some, Turkey?
Lend you any money, Mr. Skelton? Why, I'm so broke the man in the pawn shop hangs me in the window every night. But I wish you'd take me along as your trainer.
Are you a trainer?
Am I? You just give me a whip and a revolver and open that flea cage.
How long will it take you to get ready, Archie?
Well, all I have to do is button my coat and my trunks are packed. Well, I'll be right back and ready to go just as soon as I get my mother's written permission. Come on, Chief. You cute kid, you.
Well, looks like you and Hercules are going to start from scratch.
Yeah, I've got everything for my circus but the tent.
Haven't you got a tent?
No, I got a tent. I got one that'll hold 75 people. It's not big enough. I want one that'll hold about 100. Maybe Phil will give me one of his old overcoats. Oh, gee, I don't know what I'm worrying about money, though. I think I'll go over to Europe and grab me off a little republic and settle down. Well, I don't see why you won't lend me some money to get to the World's Fair. This will be the sensation of the fair.
Yeah, but what can they do? Can they act?
Can they act? You see this one? He used to be master of ceremonies at the Kennel Club.
Oh, a high-class guy, eh?
High class? Why, he won't even be seen with a dog that hasn't got a pedigree. You won't believe this, but in 1929, before the crash, that flea had 3 dogs of his own.
What's that bunch doing at the miniature bar?
At the miniature bar? I don't know. I guess they're drinking split cocktails. Get away from there, you boys. Go on now. Get going. Get away from there. There's a phone there.
Hello?
Hello. How do you feel today, Jack?
I feel fine.
Then I must have a wrong number.
Who was that?
Oh, some goon trying to break the monotony.
I bet it was that policeman boyfriend of yours.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, I saw.
Last night I gave him a hug.
Oh, taking the law in your own hands, eh? Uh-oh, let's go. Here comes Laughing Gas.
Well. Fibber McGee, I believe.
Yes. My name's Red Skelton.
That's funny. I thought I heard people laughing in here.
I think I'll put this guy back in the trunk.
Don't be silly. If you had a trunk, you'd take an ad in Radio Guide.
Yeah. Only for the trade, I guess. Well, who do you think you are this week?
I have a proposition to offer you, Mr. Skelton.
Yeah?
I happen to be a Flea Circus impresario myself. Now, maybe we could combine both shows. Here are some photographs of my cast.
Oh, yeah?
This is my leading lady, Queen Float. She's the high diver.
High diver? Is she any good?
Oh, yes, she knows all the dives. Now, this one's China Clipper.
China Clipper?
Yes. He just made a non-stop hop from a Boston Bull to a French Poodle. And this lovely little lady is Miss Minsky.
What does she do, a strip flea?
Yes.
Gee, Mr. Skelton's actors aren't that clever. How do you train them?
Well, to begin with, you've got to know more than the flea.
Oh, well. That lets you out, Skelton.
Listen, I know twice as much as any flea. I mean, where are these clever canine mascots of yours?
I have them right here in my vest pocket in this little box.
Those aren't fleas. Those are dyspepsia tablets.
Dyspepsia tablets? My, I could have sworn I took those right after dinner.
Say, I don't believe you ever had a flea circus. What'd you come in here for?
Well, I have an Easter telegram for you.
Oh, how do you know it's an Easter telegram?
It was laid at the door by a bunny. Good night, Mr.
Who's the telegram from, Mr. Skelton?
I don't know. Wait a minute. I'll open it and find out. Oh, it's from Grover Whalen. Says, Dear Red. You only got red spelled, R-A-T. Dear Red, the only spot I have open for your flea circus is located right next to the dog show.
Oh, that's swell.
Well, I can't accept that.
Why not?
Why, I'll wake up some morning and realize that my show is gone to the dog.
Here's Jeanette with a musical plea that is echoed by sweethearts everywhere. I want my share of love.
Did you ever feel a glow just to find you didn't know what the glow is? Did you ever want to cry just to find your eyes were dry and you've reached the point where high and low is? Whether you have or whether you haven't, all I know is I want my share of love, 'cause I'm aware of love. It's all around me, it's time that it found me. I want my share of love. I tell my heart someday a love will come your way. Still it keeps crying, it knows that I'm lying. I want my share of love. Why does the night help me invent dreams that are worthless and only for rent? Rented or not, they help a lot when you're in love without love. This is my prayer of love. My soul is bare of love. Too long I've waited, I almost could hate it. I want my share of love.
Friends, I hear many of you people say, I don't have to buy a cigarette that costs 3 to 5 cents less. I can afford to buy a higher-priced cigarette. Well, folks, that's fine. But why should you? After all, it's quality you're buying, not price. Yes, you want true smoking satisfaction. You want the finest blend of Turkish and domestic tobaccos that the world affords, a union-made cigarette. In fact, you want everything in your cigarettes that makes for the utmost in smoking pleasure. But when you can get all this in Avalon's and still save 3 to 5 cents on every pack, it certainly shows good judgment to take advantage of it. And friends, that saving of 3 to 5 cents on every pack really means something. Remember, it's not the big things that throw the budget out of balance. It's the pennies you spend needlessly every day. Those pennies saved on every pack of cigarettes will amount to many, many dollars at the end of the year. Friends, why not follow the millions of value-wise cigarette smokers who have switched to Avalon cigarettes? Try a pack tonight.
That's mighty good advice, Peter, and I'm sure many of our Avalon Time friends will be glad to follow it. Now, I'd like to make a musical recommendation. Lend us your ears, folks, while Red Foley and the Avalon Chorus sing Nick Kenny's latest hit, Little Skipper.
Ship ahoy, my little skipper. It's time to sail for Blanket Bay. Climb aboard your baby clipper, but don't you sail too far away. At the foot of your bed is your faithful little crew. It's your own puppy dog. Keep him watch the whole night through. Sail away, my little clipper. Good night and pleasant dreams to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, I'd like to present a 1-minute sneak preview from one of the scenes of my latest Warner Brother picture. Okay, Del.
Okay, Red. The play's somewhere on Highway 41. Red Skelton's car is stalled in front of a Dr. R.E. Lewis's private sanatorium. Skelton gets out of the car, walks up to the door of the sanatorium, and knocks.
Gee, I better not try to act funny around here. These people will take me for a loon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hello, nurse.
What can I do for you? First aid or something?
Oh, no.
My, your face is red. Are you blushing, or is it sunburn?
Oh, neither one. I hung my socks up last night and I forgot to take them off. Are you the nurse in charge?
Oh, no. The nurse in charge isn't here.
Oh.
But I'm the nurse in charge while she's off.
Yeah.
Can I help you? Can I help you, sir?
Well, I'd like to use the phone. You see, my car just had a breakdown and...
Mental or nervous?
And, well, no, I think it's suffering with gas pains around the carburetor. I'd like to call my mother in Vincennes, Indiana, and tell her
Are you from Indiana?
Yes, I am.
Well, what a coincidence. I'm from Indiana, too.
You are? What part?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah. Funny thing, I either meet them this way or hungry.
Oh, say, I like your suit.
You do?
Especially those flaps on the pockets.
Oh, you like those?
Yes, touch pockets are nice, but I'm crazy about pockets with flaps.
That's what's the matter with her. She's flap happy.
3 o'clock. I wonder what time it is.
It's... Well, the clock just struck 3. What's the matter? Isn't it right?
Don't be silly. If it was right, it wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
What time is it by your watch?
Well, if you'll loan me the phone for a couple of minutes, I'll call up the pawn shop and find out for you.
You know, there's something familiar about you. Yes? Who are you, anyway?
Well, I'm Red Skelton. I'm a comedian.
Oh, well, they'll soon take that out of you. I was Lady Godiva when I first came here.
You've just heard a sneak preview from Red Skelton's new Warner Brothers picture. Will he make the phone call? Will he marry the girl? Will the picture be released? Who cares? Play.
Remember, friends, when you ask for Avalon cigarettes...
Don't forget your change.
Yes, Avalon cigarettes, dear friends, cost several cents less than others. You too can save this gift for rents like all of us Avalon brothers. Each pack is wrapped in cellophane, each pack is union made. No wonder folks from coast to coast say Avalon's lead the parade. So why not always Avalon with Avalon?
Yes, you'd never guess, but Avalon's cost only 10 cents, plus city or state tax. Be back with us again next Saturday night, same time. Good night, everybody. Avalon Time originated in the studios of the Nation Station and has reached you through the National Broadcasting Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is door. D-O-O-R.
I didn't know you could spell it, George.
You bet your life. The DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only... Groucho!
What a ham. Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples. George Fenneman, who's placed to try for it?
Just before we went on the air, we asked if there were any young people present who'd like to get married if they found the right person. And here come the two who were chosen. Miss Brigitta Lindholm, Mr. Bill Wendland. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, you handsome couple, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll split $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Brigitta Lindholm, is that right?
That's right.
That's a charming name. What kind of a name is it?
Oh, that's a Swedish name. I come from Stockholm, Sweden.
From Stockholm, huh? Well, in Sweden, what do you pay for a room in Smorgasbord?
Oh, well, you don't live in Smorgasbord.
Oh, you don't live in a Smorgasbord? Well, could you say something in Swedish? How does it sound? Tell me what you think of me in Swedish.
Well, I'll tell you. Jag tycker ni är väldigt trevlig, men en ganska lustig typ.
Now, I dare you to say that in English.
Well, I said I thought you were a very nice man, but a funny character.
Would you mind qualifying that a little more? How long since you were in Sweden, Brigitta?
Oh, I came over here last year in January.
And what kind of work are you doing here in America?
I have a job with the Swedish consulate.
You have a job with the Swedish consulate? You know, job is boy spelled backwards. In other words, you have a backwards boy at the Swedish consulate. Bill Wendland, is that right?
That's right, sir.
What kind of a name is that?
That's a German name, sir.
German. Were you born in Germany?
No, sir. In Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota.
Oh. Did you like Minnesota? Were the winters too rigorous?
They were too rigorous, yes.
I took the words right out of his mouth, didn't I? How old are you, Bill?
I'm 30.
What is your age, Brigitta?
I'm 25.
You're 25? No, you don't look it. I thought you were 24 and a half. Would you like to get married one of these days?
I wouldn't mind if I find the right one.
Uh-huh. Well, why do you want to get married?
Well, I'd like to have a home and a family.
That's a good preliminary step, isn't it? How about you, Bill? Would you like to get married?
Yes, I would.
Why don't you marry Miss Lindholm?
Well, that'd be rushing things.
Well, she isn't Russian. She's Swedish. What sort of work do you do, Bill?
I work for the Associated Telephone Company.
In what capacity?
I'm a repairman.
Well, in that case, you could associate with Miss Lindholm if you were with the Associated Phone Company, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And she's looking for the right connection. And suppose my phone isn't working. How do I get you to fix it?
Well, you call a repair clerk at the Associated Phone Company.
Well, how do I do that? Do I just dial your phone company and tell the girl my phone is out of order?
Oh, you go to a neighbor's phone and call.
It happens that that's the one I'm already using. How do you think I got in this trouble? Now, Brigitte, is that right, Brigitte?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Sounds like an Irish name. Brigitte, let's be getting out of here. Now, tell me something about Sweden. Is it true that all Swedes are blondes?
Well, I would say about 30% of them are light.
30% of them are light, huh? How light? They weigh about 15 pounds?
I mean, they are light-headed.
Miss Lindholm, you just lost your job. Well, we practically exhausted the subject of telephones in Sweden. Now, let's see how you two will make out in the battle for the big question. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life.
Have you ever had your car serviced by a DeSoto Plymouth dealer? No matter what make of car you own, you'll find a DeSoto Plymouth dealer offers you the best service you can get anywhere. The folks at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers are certain that once they have a chance to serve you, you'll come back whenever your car needs attention. What's more, they'll do their utmost to treat you fairly and squarely at all times. That's their creed. So won't you give them a chance to show you what service really means? Drive in wherever you see the sign of an authorized DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth.
So you think I'm a funny character, huh? All right, let's see if you two will be high for the night and get the chance at the $2,000. Phantom, and tell them the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they won in each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Okay, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected songs with numbers in the title as your category. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, how much of the 20 will you risk?
I think about $8.
$8, huh? Is that all right with you, Brigitte? Okay. Give me the title of this song. Play, Jerry.
3 Little Words.
3 Little Words is right, by Harry Ruby.
They're on their way. They have $28, Groucho.
Now you've got $28. Now, remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 28 will you try?
On 15.
Okay, $15. What is the title of this song? It has a number in the title. Take a stab at it. Don't know? Don't know. Well, you've just lost $15. I'm very sorry.
They now have $13.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't you want to know what it is? It's just one of those things. All right, here's your third question. How much of the 13 will you risk?
We'll risk $5.
$5. Let's see if you can identify this one. Okay, Jerry. What is it? What's the answer you've decided on?
Bugle Call Rag?
No, I'm sorry. You're close, but it's the 12th Street Rag.
They now have $8, Groucho.
How much of the 8 will you risk?
3?
Or $3.
Make it 5.
Make it 5. Okay, play, Jerry.
Sleepy people.
2 sleepy people is right. With $13. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, don't go away. You may get a chance at the big question.
Groucho, the secret word is still door. Perhaps the next couple will say it. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a house painter, Mr. Milton Carg, and his partner is a housewife, Mrs. Grace Walker. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life, and if you say the secret word, you divide $100 in cash between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. A house painter and a housewife, eh? Mr. Cog, Milt Cog. Where are you from, Milt?
Coney Island.
Coney Island, huh? Were you born on a Ferris wheel? Or on a...
No, one of the flats.
You were born on a flat?
In a flat.
Oh, in a flat, huh? They call them apartments out here.
I know.
They're just as bad, but they're much more expensive. Mrs., what is your name?
Walker.
Grace Walker?
That's right.
Uh-huh. Where are you from, Grace?
Well, I was born in New Jersey.
And what sort of work does your husband do?
He's a miner, or he would be a miner. Right now he's pruning trees in Texas.
You say he's in Texas, and
he's in
why
Texas.
aren't you with him, Mrs. Walker?
Well, I'm a miner, too.
You're a miner?
That's right.
What kind of a miner are you?
I'm a copper miner. I worked a mine for 16 years, mister.
Oh, I see. Well, is there any copper in your mine, or you just get down there to escape
well,
from
there's copper in it. I wish I could get all that's in it out.
Why don't you get some strong, brawny men to help you get this copper out?
I can get it out if the Navy would let me.
Oh, now you're in the Navy, huh?
Yes, I'm in Gunnery B.
You're in Gunnery B?
That's right.
Oh, Mrs. Walker, am I confused? Your husband is pruning trees in Texas. You work in a copper mine, and you're in the Navy. Now, would you...
The Navy just took 1,600 square miles for a gunnery, and I was in the middle of things, and they asked me to get out.
Well, did they reimburse you for this?
They will, but I hate to hold my breath until they do.
Would you like me to hold it for you? How did you get to be a miner, Mrs. Walker?
Well, I went prospecting. You know, once you get bit by that bug, it's terrible.
Well, that's the only kind of bug that hasn't bitten me so far. Now, Painter, tell me, how is business with you, Milt?
I'm picking up right now.
What kind of painting do you do?
House painting, interior, exterior.
Which would you rather paint, the inside or the outside of a house?
Well, it don't make much difference.
Well, it'd make quite a difference to the house, I think. You mean if I hired you to paint the inside of my house, you'd go ahead and paint the outside?
No.
Why not? Have you got something against the outside of the house?
Nothing against the outside
Well,
of the
you
house.
better have a ladder against it if you're going to paint it. Have you ever painted yourself into a corner, Rembrandt? Honest now. Tell the truth.
I didn't exactly paint myself in a corner. I painted myself up to a door and thought the door...
Milt, you just said door, and that's the secret word tonight, so you and your partner split $100 in cash. Compliments of the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
Thank you.
Now, where were we while you were knocking the door down, huh? You painted yourself?
I was painting a floor, and I was painting up to a door, and the door was supposed to... I thought the door opened out. Instead, the door opened in. I walked back on the floor and opened the door and then go and paint it over again.
Sounds funny. I don't understand it, but it sounds funny. Well, now I know all about painting, thanks to you, Milt. Now, let's see how much you two know. You're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,000 DeSoto Plymouth question. You run your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the big question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The girl from Sweden and the telephone man won $13.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected nicknames of states as your category. How much of the $20 will you bet?
Bet 10.
$10? What state is called the Hoosier State?
Indiana.
Back home in Indiana.
And on their way with $30.
All right, you got $30. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the 30 will you bet?
20.
$20. What state is called the Sunflower State?
Kansas.
Kansas is right.
Now they have $60.
Mrs. Walker, you haven't been in that copper mine all the time. Now you got... Here's your third question. How much of the 50 are you going to go for?
Oh, 30.
All right, you're betting $30. Here's your third question. What state is called the Empire State?
New York State.
New York is right. Coney Island.
They're really climbing now. They have $80.
All right, you got $80. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 80?
Bet the 80.
What state is called the Bluegrass State?
Kentucky.
Kentucky is right.
And they wind up the grand total of $160.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, we'll soon know who gets the chance at the $2,000 question.
Friends, no matter what make of car you own, I hope you'll look for the sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
What's wrong, Fenneman? Is it lost?
Oh, no, Groucho, but you can lose your driving worries at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers because their mechanics are factory trained in the latest methods.
Do they play canasta?
I can't say, Groucho.
Can't say Groucho? This will make it very embarrassing for you on this program. Fenneman, who's ahead in the battle for the $2,000 question?
Well, the house painter and the housewife are leading with their $160. And the secret word is still door. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a junk dealer, Mr. Howard Martin, and his partner is Dr. Harry Husky, who is a designer and a builder of an electronic brain. And here they are. Gentlemen, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, gentlemen, to You Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 between you. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mr. Junkman, Howard Martin, you're the junkman, huh?
Yes, I am.
Pretty flashy dresser for a junkman. Well, stick around tonight. Before the night's over, I may junk the whole program, huh? Where are you from, junkie?
Burbank, California.
Burbank, huh? Have you ever crossed a vegetable with a boulevard or something?
Not yet.
Dr. Harry Husky, huh? You have an electronic brain?
That's right.
What should I call you, Doctor, Harry, or Husky?
Anything that you like.
Well, now, don't go that far. Where are you from, Doctor?
I come from the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina.
Smoky Mountains. Well, welcome to the smoggy plains of L.A. Now, Dr. Husky, straighten me out about your electronic brain. Precisely, what is it?
Precisely?
Exactly.
It's a large-scale electronic computing machine.
Well, what does it compute?
Well, it's just being put together. We still have some parts to put into it. It doesn't compute anything yet.
Can't even add 2 and 2? What a schlemiel that is, eh? Just a moron, huh? Doctor, what is this machine for, this robot?
Well, it's to carry out sequences of computations to compare figures.
You're going to compare figures. I don't need an electric brain for that. It's called an automatic reflex in my case. Now, as a brain surgeon, are you engaged in private practice, Doctor?
No, I'm not an MD. I'm just a mathematician. I work for the National Bureau of Standards, and the computing machine we're building is being financed by the Air Material Command of the United States Air Force.
What does your giant mixmaster look like?
Well, it covers about 50 square foot of floor space, about 4 foot wide, 12 foot long, about 8 foot high.
Look at the junk man drooling over all this. What a haul, eh, Howard? Doctor, what's inside this idiot?
Well, there's about 2,000 radio tubes, about 40 television tubes, and miles of wire.
2,000 radio tubes? No wonder it's feeble-minded, huh? It's got a screw loose, too, I suppose. Now, Junkman, let's talk to you for a moment, huh? How do you get your junk? Do you park your horse and wagon outside radio studios and wait for the winning contestants to come out?
Well, people bring it into our shop, and then we have our own pickup trucks to go out to the plumbing shops and electrical places and industries and so forth and bring it into us.
I've got a lot of paper at home, all my old jokes I've saved through the years. How much do you pay for paper?
Well, at the present time, we're paying about $4 a ton.
And how much are the jokes worth?
Well, I'd say nothing.
That isn't fair. You must have heard the jokes. Now, Doctor, when you push a button, what goes on inside this chowderhead? Providing, of course, he's got all his buttons by that time.
Well, it carries out these operations of addition and multiplication, division, and so on. It does these at extremely high rate of speed, and you must make sure that the correct instructions are there.
Say I want to add 2 and 2. Now, how do you go about commanding it?
Well,
that ought to be pretty easy for that Jake. Oh, I hate that machine. I didn't like him from the minute I saw
him. To carry out the addition of 2 and 2, you must tell the machine where the 2's are in its memory, and that you want the numbers added, and where the result is to be placed in the machine's memory.
Wouldn't it be just simpler to take off your shoes and count on your toes? Now, let's say it's been fully instructed. Now, what happens?
The control part of the machine, or brains of the machine, if you like, looks at the instructions.
What? How do you know it's looking at it? Maybe it's looking at something else. They're pretty tricky, those machines. I wouldn't trust them about me. They'll turn on you like a mad dog, Doctor. You be careful when you're alone with that machine, Doctor. I like you. You're a nice fellow, and I don't want anything to happen to you. Okay. Suppose it comes up with 5 for an answer. What do you do then?
Well, it shouldn't do that. You can't...
That's right, but I warned you about the machine. Told you to watch yourself. You just won't listen, that's all.
Well, you can't confuse the machine. Probably you gave it a wrong instruction if this happens, you see.
Oh, now you're going to blame it on me. I haven't even seen the confounded thing. Who gets to use that brain, Doctor?
As I said, the Air Material Command has financed the construction of it, so Air Force contractors will get to use it. Also, as scientists with worthwhile problems will have access to the machine.
Well, you've convinced me. That's some baby you've got there. Now, Junkman, wake up. Tell me, how much would you say Dr. Husky's machine is worth?
How much does it weigh?
Now, there's a practical man. All right, Doctor, tell him, huh?
It probably weighs 2 or 3 tons.
Oh, I'd say with all the steel and copper and so forth, why, it'd be worth about $100.
How close is he, Doc?
It's costing us about $200,000 to build it.
Junkman, your estimate was very fair. After all, we realize you have to make a small profit, too. Well, Doctor, I'm convinced you're doing a worthwhile work that will make life easier and better for all of us. And I congratulate you and the National Bureau of Standards. All right, now let's play You Bet Your Life. You run your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the $2,000 DeSoto Plymouth question. I can't tell you how much the other couples won, but Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The house painter and the housewife are ahead with $160.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected adjacent states as your category. Is that right? Here's your first question. What state is directly north of Oregon?
Washington.
Washington is right. Remember you... Oh, wait a minute. All right, well, leave it up to their honesty. How much would you have bet?
We were going to bet 10.
That's a fair thing. I trust him. A man who's got a $200,000 machine isn't going to... At any rate, it was my responsibility. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now you've got $30. How much of the $30 are you going to bet? I'm taking no more chances, huh?
We'll bet $25.
You're going to bet $25. What state is directly south of Oklahoma? Texas is right.
They're climbing. They have $55.
How much of the $55 will you bet?
Bet $40.
$40. What state is directly north of Alabama?
Tennessee.
Tennessee is right.
Now they have $95.
This doctor doesn't need any mechanical help, I see. How much of the 95?
90.
$90. What state is directly north of Missouri?
Kansas.
Is that the answer you two have decided on? I'm sorry, it's Iowa. That's a shame, that's a shame. Well, you're practically cleaned out, and we want you to go away from here a little better off than when you came in. So if you get this question right, you'll be $10 richer. The University of Ohio is in what state? Ohio is right.
They wound up with a grand total of $5, and that means the house painter and the housewife with $160 get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question. You can't be particular about your car without being particular about where you take it for service. That's why more and more motorists every day take their cars to DeSoto Plymouth dealers. For these dealers, more than 3,000 of them from one end of this country to the other offer you the very best service you can get for your car, and at a price that's fair. They have factory-trained mechanics working with factory-designed and approved tools and equipment. Efficient mechanics who do the job right, who do it fast, and who do it with a smile. Keep this in mind next time your car needs expert attention. And drive in at the sign of an authorized DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here's the housewife and the house painter, the winning couple, all ready for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question, Groucho.
This is the gal with the copper mine and the painter, eh? Well, let's see if you can paint yourself $2,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on one single answer between you for $2,000, so think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. The colony of Rhode Island was founded in 1636 as a haven of religious tolerance. Who was the founder of Rhode Island? All right, what's the answer you two decided on?
The Pilgrims.
No, I'm sorry. It's Roger Williams, pioneer of religious liberty and freedom. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,500. Well, you lost the big money, but you won $160 in the quiz, plus $100 for saying the secret word. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
You Bet Your Life is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show. You Bet Your Life. Presented by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation. And don't forget, next week the big question will be worth $2,500.
By the way, folks, if you notice a prehistoric monster glaring at you from the newsstands, don't be alarmed. It's only me on the cover of Newsweek. They have a comprehensive story about us in Newsweek, which appears on the stands tomorrow. Of course, I deny everything. So good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Folks, here's a tip from the National Safety Council. Good brakes stop many accidents before they get started. This is George Fenneman, signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell, P-R-E-L-L, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes and leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley, with William Bendix as Riley. When Chester A. Riley and his friend and co-worker Jim Gillis start bragging about their respective sons, Junior and Egbert, the superlatives fly thick and fast. At the moment, Gillis and Riley are walking home from work.
All I say, Riley, is did you ever stop to ask yourself what kind of a boy your Junior is?
My Junior? Well, he's a boyish type boy.
Believe me, Riley, your Juniors are nothing. But look at my Egbert. Look at my Egbert.
Look at my Egbert. Well, I've looked at your Egbert, and you've got my deepest sympathy.
Calm down, Riley. Why should we lose your temper?
Well, you're always slighting my Junior, and it hurts.
All I mean is, if you want your boy to amount to something, you gotta watch him when he's young. Find out what's his talent, and nourish him.
Why?
Why? A delicate flower won't grow unless it's fertilized. Well, my Egbert is a flower, and I'm his fertilizer.
Well, my Junior's got talent, plenty of talent.
Oh, yeah? What?
Well, last summer at the beach, he swam underwater for 5 minutes without coming up for air. That's a talent.
Oh, sure. That's a fine talent. If you want him to grow up to be a barracuda. I'm talking a talent for a career.
Oh.
Here, look at this. It's a copy of what they're going to say about my Egbert in the class yearbook.
What yearbook?
Didn't your Junior show you his? Well, I can guess what.
Yeah, well, he'll show it to me. He probably didn't get this month's yearbook. I mean, I guess he forgot.
Here, take a look. Egbert Gillis. Activities, president of the chemistry club. Best subject, chemistry. Prizes, aluminum medal for chemistry. Hobby, chemistry. And guess what it says on the future profession?
Streetcar conductor?
Chemical engineer.
Oh.
Sure, chemical engineer. Why, one of these days, Egbert Gillis will be working for the DuPont Corporation. And who knows? He may marry one of the DuPont girls. Will I be a proud father when I look up who's who and see my son's name, Egbert DuPont.
Oh, yeah? Well, I've seen my Junior swim underwater for 8 minutes. He almost drowned him.
Face the facts, Riley. Without talent, your son ain't going to have no future. Boy, will you sound like a dope at the father and son dinner next Monday.
Well, what father and son dinner?
Don't your kid tell you nothing? The class is giving a banquet for the boys and their fathers only. But mothers can come, too. And every father is going to talk about his kid's future profession. What are you going to say, Riley? What's your boy's future going to be?
I'll think of something. Don't worry about me. I'll see that my boy has a future if it takes me 100 years.
Junior, did you find that yearbook?
Yeah, Pop, I just found it.
Oh, Riley, I don't understand you. For months, you don't show the slightest interest in junior school. Then all of a sudden, we get this...
Peg, you want our boy to have a future, don't you? Well, I want to see his future on paper.
Here's the proof, Pop. It was in my briefcase.
Oh, let's see. Oh, here we are. Chester A. Riley, Jr. Activities. Substitute cheerleader. Cheerleader. For this, I spent $50 to take out your tonsils.
Gee whiz, Pop. What's
all
wrong?
All right, we'll let that pass. Let's see what it says about your future profession. Here it is. Future profession. A question mark.
Well, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Oh, be reasonable, Riley. It just means Junior hasn't made up his mind yet.
Yeah, well, it's time he did. After all, he's 13, and all he's got on his mind are movies.
And when you were 13, what did you have on your mind?
Why, when I was 13, okay, Peg, I admit I was kind of wild when I was 13, and you were right not to elope with me. Now, tell me, Junior, what do you think you'd like to be, huh?
Well, gosh, I don't know.
Well, but there must be some kind of work you'd like to do.
Oh, well, I wouldn't mind a job like yours, I guess.
No. Well, that's fine. That's just dandy. I can just hear the horse laugh I'll get at the school dinner when I get up and say, my son wants to be just like me. But, Junior, think. There must be something you feel you'd like to be.
Well, I told you yesterday, Pop. I just don't know.
But you've got to know. What am I going to say at the dinner when they get... Oh, what's the use?
Junior, dear, why didn't you tell us about this dinner? You forgot, was that it?
Yeah, I just didn't think you'd want to go.
Well, why shouldn't I want to go? I'm your father, ain't I?
You certainly are, dear.
Thanks for backing me up, Peg. Now, look, son.
Well, excuse me, Pop. I got to wash up for supper.
But I want to... Oh, Peg, we might as well face it. Our boy is a failure. It takes some men 50 years to become a failure. Junior did it in 13.
Oh, now it isn't that serious, but he's still a baby. Got plenty of time to decide later on, when he's in college.
It's too late, then. He's got to have talent now. If I only knew what it was, I could build it up. No. If he wanted to be, let's say, an artist, I'd give him paints to play around with. Or if he wanted to be a writer, I'd give him pencils and paper. Or if he wanted to be a banker, I'd give him... I don't want him to be a banker, right?
He'll decide when the time comes.
You know, Peg, talent runs in families. Maybe, Junior, let's see now, whoever amounted to anything on my side of the family. Well, let's look at your side of the family.
Well, my father had a second cousin who was a great surgeon.
No kidding.
Yes, Ezra Barker. He was very famous.
Hey, maybe Junior takes after him.
Oh, don't be silly.
Well, why not? Surgery, that could be his talent. Only it's hidden. But I'll find out if it's there.
Well, what are you going to do? Let Junior take out your appendix?
Oh, please. Now, don't be ridiculous. You know I had my appendix out a year ago. But you've still got yours.
Riley.
I mean, I'll think of something. Don't worry. I'll think of something. Oh, this soup was delicious. Nice and tender.
Please pass the olives, Pop.
Yeah, here, son.
Well, here we are.
Oh, roast chicken, my favorite dish.
Here, you carve, Riley.
Yeah, it'll be a pleasure.
Here's a carving knife, Pop.
Thanks, son. Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Why are you staring at me, Pop?
Peg, look. Look at Junior's fingers.
Well, I washed them.
No, I mean, they're so long and slender and delicate.
Oh, go on and carve, Riley.
No. Junior, you carve.
Me?
Now, Riley...
Now, Peg, I know what I'm doing. Go on, Doctor. Junior.
Okay. I always wanted to carve.
You did? You see, Peg, I was right. Go ahead, grab that scalpel and start operating, Doc.
Okay, nurse. What'll you have, Mom?
Oh, I'd like the leg, dear.
I'll have a wing.
Take some white meat for yourself, Junior.
Yeah, okay. Well, here goes.
This chicken's tough.
Why, it is not. It's like butter.
Yeah, well, Junior, don't tear the leg off like that. If that was a human being on that platter, he'd resent it.
I guess I'm not very good at this.
No, don't say that, Doc. You're good.
Here's yours, Mom.
Thanks, dear.
Here, Pop. Here's the wing.
The wing? You call this the wing? Why, this is the fine surgeon you turned out to be. Some surgeon, the way he was tearing at that poor chicken.
Oh, forget it, will you? That's all you've been harping about for the last hour.
I can't forget it. A father's got a duty to his kid. Junior's going to amount to something if I... where is he, anyway?
Oh, now leave him alone. He's in his room reading.
Reading? Oh, that.
Well, he's got some new book about big game hunting in Africa.
No kidding. He's interested in that?
I guess so. He's had his nose stuck in that book for a week.
Well, that's it. A big game hunter. That's what he'll be.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
That's even better than being a doctor. He'll bring him back alive. There's a fortune in it.
Oh, stop dreaming.
Another frank buck. That's a real profession. Just think, Peg. He'll go all over the world, stalking elephants, trapping lions, shooting tigers. You know, that takes guts. It takes real courage. Junior, what's the matter? Junior, why are you standing on a bureau?
There's a mouse in my room.
What a revolting development this is.
Well, Riley, did you figure out what you're going to say at the father and son dinner?
Well, I ain't sure I'm going, Gillis. Something came up, and I
see. Too bad, pal. Well, I got my speech all wrote, and afterwards my egg bite is going to perform one of his chemical experiments.
Okay, Gillis, okay.
Yes, sir, right in front of all them people. Egg bite will take a test tube, a couple of chemicals, figure out a secret formula, and invent iodine. Or maybe bicarbonate of soda.
Yeah, I guess you were right, Gillis. Junior's got no ambition. He don't show no interest in anything.
So what? I wouldn't worry about it. But just to be on the safe side, I'd have the kid's head examined.
What? Are you hinting there's something wrong with my Junior?
Oh, no, nothing like that. But you know, kids his age get these here complexes. What I meant was, maybe you ought to have him psychoanalyzed. You know, like in the movies, Gregory Peck lays down on the couch, and Ingrid Bergman finds out what's going on in his noodle.
That's enough, Gillis. I ain't going to stand here and let you insult my Junior.
Okay, just giving you a friend.
There's nothing wrong with my Junior. He's just as normal as I am. I'd better have that kid psychoalkalized.
Oh, Riley, I'm going over to Mrs. Benny's for a minute. Will you... Riley, what on earth you doing?
I'm reading. Well, what's the matter? Didn't you ever see a guy read a book before?
Well, yes, but you haven't touched a book since last summer when you wanted to press that flower. Well, what book is it?
Oh, it's just something I picked up in the library.
Well, let me see.
Oh, don't, Peg.
An Introduction to Psychoanalysis by Dr. Sigmund Freud. What do you want with that?
Nothing special. I'm just in the mood for a little light reading, that's all.
All right, dear. You go right on with your reading. I'll wake you up when I get back. Bye.
Where was I? Oh, here. Case Y. Patient was 14-year-old boy suffering from complex neuroses during adolescence. Well, Junior's almost 14. Let's see now. Chief symptoms: indecision, vacillation, sense of inferiority, lack of interest. Oh, that's Junior's case exactly. Analysis revealed basic cause to be an octopus complex and a deep-rooted hatred of his father. Oh, no. He hates me. He hates me. How could he hate me when I'm so lovable? However, complete cure was effected by inducing patient to talk freely and frankly admit this father hatred. Once this mental block was removed, patient became normal and adjusted, and today is outstanding attorney. Imagine that, just because the kid admitted he hated his father. Junior, come in here.
Did you call me, Pop?
Yes, I did. Junior, lay down.
What?
I said lay down over there on the couch.
Oh, but I'm not tired.
Do as I say. Lay down. Remember, I'm your father.
Okay, I'll lie down.
Now tell me, son, who's your father?
My what?
Don't get up. Lay there. Now, come on. Who's your father?
Well, you are.
Uh-huh. Now we're getting somewhere. Now, how do you feel about me, son?
How do I feel?
Yeah, you hate me, don't you?
Who, me? Oh, of course not.
Come on, admit it. Say you hate me.
But I don't hate you.
Now, don't be stubborn, Junior. Before I'm through with you, you'll hate me.
Let me up, will you, Pop? You're sitting on me.
No, I ain't getting off you till you're cured. Now, come on, talk freely. Admit you hate me and you'll make me the happiest man in the world.
But I don't hate you, Pop. I love you.
You don't love me. You hate me.
Goodness, what's all the shouting about?
Oh, Peg, we might as well face it. Junior loves me. It's a hopeless day.
We'll hear the second act of The Life of Riley in a moment.
Say, Ken, from Maine to California, the family choice is Prell. Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube.
Of course, Prell's a family favorite for two reasons.
First, Prell leaves hair far more radiant than old-fashioned soap or soap shampoo because Prell can't leave a dulling soap film.
Second, Prell removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Examinations by a group of doctors proved it. In case after case, even stubborn dandruff was controlled by only 2 shampoos a week.
And how the family loved that handy Prell tube. No messy jars, no slippery bottles. Prell's easy to use.
Economical, too. A little makes mountains of lather. So for hair radiantly clean, radiantly soft and smooth, ask for
P-R-E-L-L Prell Shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L Prell Shampoo.
by Prell. And now back to The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley.
Hello, Peg.
Oh, hello, dear. You're home early.
Well, tonight's the school banquet. I got to straighten some things out. Where's Junior?
He's in his room. Now, you leave Junior alone, Dr. Freud. He's my boy, too, and I'm not worried about his future.
Yeah, but what'll I say at that dinner tonight, dear?
What you always say at dinner. More meat, please.
But the speech. Oh, the other fathers will make a speech, and I'll be speechless.
Oh, so what? Now, go on, get dressed. It's late.
I ain't going.
You're not going.
No.
All right, then don't go. I'll go alone with Junior.
Oh, say, Mom, can you let me have 2 spools of thread and a needle and your scissors?
Well, it's in my sewing basket in my room, dear. What do you want it for?
Well, I got an idea to make something.
Some son I got. Instead of taking chemicals and inventing something, he plays around with needles and thread. Guess we're raising a tailor. Some profession.
Well, what's wrong with being a tailor?
Why... Hey, that's right. There's nothing wrong with it. Only not a tailor, a dress designer. Maybe that's his talent.
Oh, now don't...
Heck, I got a feeling this is it. A dress designer. Oh. Why, there's a fortune in it. He'll have a saloon in Paris and a saloon in New York.
It's salon.
And just think, when all them young society debutantes come out, they'll come out of his dresses. Or he'll be famous. What a thrill when you and me go to Paris and we look up and we see the big sign with his name, our son, Madam Junior Riley.
Come down to earth, will you? Just because he asked for a needle and thread doesn't mean...
No, this time I got a hunch. Come on. Let's go see what our little genius is creating, huh?
Riley, I've got to finish ironing.
Come on. This is more important. Oh, hey, Madam Junior.
What? Huh?
Show your mother and me your creation.
My what?
What you made with the needle and thread.
Oh, no,
Now, come on. Don't be so modest. Show us.
Okay. Look.
Hey, isn't that the most... Is that what you made?
What on earth is it?
It's a yo-yo. Our little genius made a yo-yo. fine son I got. I depend on him, and he lets me down. Well, I learned my lesson. This is the last time anybody will ever let me down.
I wouldn't be too sure of that.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker. Going my way?
Why, I don't know. Where you going, Digger?
Into the school there, to the father and son dinner.
Oh.
I'm going to deliver a little eulogy about my son, Marblestone. He's already inside, waiting for the services to begin.
You got a fine boy there, Digger.
Oh, he adores me. He worships the very ground I work in.
Yeah, tell me, Digger, have you found out what his profession is going to be?
Ah, yes. I've known ever since he was 3 years old. One day at the beach, he buried me in the sand.
Well, yeah, but that don't prove nothing.
He buried me 6 feet deep. That's good enough for me.
Well, I don't know what's the matter with my junior. He never buried me. He's got no interest. Not even a hobby.
Oh, everyone should have a hobby. Now me, I'm an animal man myself. I love to watch the gophers making their little mounds. Beautiful technique. I love to watch a turtle when it's flat on its back. But best of all, I love to sit near a lily pond and watch the frogs croak. But come, Riley, we'll be late for the festivities.
No, I ain't going in. Peg's going with Junior, but I ain't going. I ain't got nothing to say.
Riley, I despise cowards.
Digger, you really think I ought to go?
When Odell says you've got to go, you go.
Okay.
In that case, we'd better be shoveling off.
Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this thought. My 30 years as a teacher and principal have convinced me of the truth of the old saying, the boy is father to the man.
Oh, the principal's a wonderful teacher, isn't he, Junior?
Yeah, he's okay for a principal.
Hello, Peg.
Riley, I'm so glad you came, dear.
Hiya, Pop.
Here's a chair. Sit down.
Yeah.
And now we're going to hear from another proud father, Mr. James Madison Gillis.
All right. I hope they won't ask me to speak.
Don't worry, they won't ask you unless you tell them you want to speak.
Well, I'm not going to.
Mr. Principal, fellow fathers and mothers, I'm sure we all enjoyed the cute little talk the principal just gave us, but now we come to something interesting. Now, I ain't the kind of a father that likes to boast about his kids. I believe that actions speak louder than words. So now, my son Egbert is going to perform a very unusual chemical experiment right before your eyes. Egbert?
Yes, Papa?
What are you going to invent, son, with your chemical set?
Well, I think I'll make some NaCl.
You hear that, folks? He's going to make knuckle.
Oh, Junior, why couldn't you have a knack for making knuckle?
NaCl is just sodium chloride table salt.
Well, go ahead, Egbert. The floor is yours.
Oh, I'm not quite ready yet, Papa.
Oh. Well, while we're waiting, we can kill a little time by hearing from one of the other fathers. How's about my good friend Riley?
No.
All right. Tell us about your junior's future.
No, I can't. It's a secret.
Come on, Riley, say something. Everybody's staring.
Well, Mr. Principal, fellow fathers and fellow mothers. Well, for a long time now, I've been studying my boy Junior. First, I thought Junior was going to be and then it turned out that he wasn't going to be that, and instead we thought he had talent for, but we found out he really didn't have talent for, so ladies and gentlemen, I give you my wife's son, Junior.
Oh, Pop, I don't want to talk.
Daddy, you want me to be disgraced?
Papa, I'm ready now.
Oh, Egbert's ready now. Okay, Riley, sit down.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead, Egbert, my dear boy.
In this here test tube here, I have some hydrochloric acid here.
You hear that, folks? Hydrochloric acid. Go ahead, darling.
Now I take this Bunsen burner here and heat the contents of this test tube here.
Observe how it burns with the bright... Oh, it exploded.
Anyway, let me look at you. Anyway, darling, what happened to your eyebrows? Oh, my poor ancient, he lost his eyebrows.
Papa, my hand got burned. Oh, my head.
Is there a doctor in the house? Get a doctor, quick.
Why, he'll be all right, Mr. Gillis. I know what to do. Where's the tonic acid? Oh, here. Now, hold out your hand, Egbert. Yeah, there. Now, you'll be all right in a minute.
Oh, that feels good, Junior.
Here, stand aside. I'm a doctor. Let me see that hand.
I put tonic acid on it, Doctor.
Oh, good. Exactly what I would have done. That was quick thinking, son. You'll make a fine doctor someday.
Peg, he'll make a doctor.
I'm going to sue the Board of Education for this.
But I'm all right now, Papa.
Oh, no, you're not all right. I'm going to sue. There must have been something wrong with that Bunsen burner. I'll sue, that's what I'll do.
Well, you can't sue, Mr. Gillis. It was Egbert's own Bunsen burner. The school's not responsible.
Yeah, the boy's right, Mr. Gillis. You have no case here.
Oh, yeah? What do you know about it?
Well, aside from being the principal, I also happen to be a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Well, we'll see about that. I'm taking this case to court.
I'll bet you lose, Mr. Gillis. I'll bet you 5-1.
5-1. Peg.
Well, what's the matter?
Now I know what Junior's going to be.
Hey, everybody, listen. I know what my Junior's going to be. He's going to be a doctor, a lawyer, and a bookmaker.
The Rileys will be back in just a moment. For radiant hair, it's Prell, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Miss Margaret McLean of New York City says,
Since I use Prell, my boyfriend says he's never seen my hair so attractive. And it's true. Prell leaves my hair sparkling with radiance, soft and smooth, easy to care for.
yes, one trial and you'll agree. Prell's amazing for two reasons. One, Prell removes unsightly dandruff quickly. Two, Prell leaves hair radiantly beautiful. You'll sing about
P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo.
Oh, I was proud of the way Junior came through tonight. Junior's going to have a great future.
Of course he is.
Yeah, Junior's okay. You'll see, we'll be proud of that boy. I'll bet you in 10 years he'll be so rich he won't even talk to us. Oh, we'll be proud of that boy. This is Riley, alias William Bendix. Give gladly. Red Cross serves you. In the past year, nearly 400,000 persons were given disaster rehabilitation aid in 46 states, the District of Columbia, and Alaska. Red Cross serves you with emergency relief when disaster strikes. Put Red Cross in your budget. Give gladly to the 1948 fund drive. Good night, folks.
Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The script is by Alan Lipscott and Reuben Ship. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brecker.
Oh, she was the Gibson girlie. Along on a tandem she'd go. Her blouses she kept white and curly with wonderful ivory snow.
Ah, wonderful ivory snow. Just the beauty bath to keep your lovely blouses, lingerie, and nylons new-looking longer. And your hands will tell you why Ivory Snow keeps nice things lovely longer. Prove it. This week, wash dishes with Ivory Snow. When you see how it pampers your hands, you'll know it's extra kind to your fine fabrics. There's no other soap like it. Ivory Snow is the only soap, both ivory mild and granulated for efficiency. Makes suds instantly in lukewarm, even in cool water. Ivory Snow is so kind to your hands, you just know it's kind to sheer nylons and lovely blouses, sweaters, and lingerie.
Oh, wonderful Ivory Snow.
S-N-O-W.
This is Ken Niles reminding you that for radiantly clean, lovely hair, get the shampoo in the tube. Prell. Prell Shampoo. Listen again next week when Prell brings you The Life of Riley. And now, stay tuned for Truth or Consequences. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Andy, did you hear that? Come on, will you?
Did I hear what?
That whistle. That's the Rinso White whistle.
And Rinso means us.
That's right. Rinso gets clothes Rinso White. And Rinso presents the Amos and Andy Show. Rinso for a wash that's...
Rinso White.
Rinso for a wash that's...
Rinso Bright.
Rinso White and Rinso Bright. Those swell, soapy, rich suds get shirts and sheets, towels, and table linens gleaming white. And lovely washable colors stay fresh and bright, safely through wash after Rinso wash. That's why women everywhere are saying...
Rinso for me. Wash day's a cinch with those peppy Rinso suds helping.
And ladies, you'll be mighty proud of the results. Next wash day, get Rinso for a Rinso White wash, a Rinso Bright wash. And now, our stars, Amos and Andy. It seems there's been an epidemic of breach of promise suits in Andy Brown's life recently. And now that the latest one against him has been dropped, Andy is in his office telling Amos and the Kingfish of his new design for living. No more women.
I tell you, fellas, it's the truth. I is tired of these breach of promise suits, and I ain't going out with no more women. And that's final.
Well, Brother Andy, staying away from women is going to keep you out of trouble, all right. Yeah, but there's only one thing. You know, these breach of promise suits you done had, Andy, they kind of hit you by surprise. Now that you was clearing the decks of all women, why don't you make sure that there ain't some other gal around here that you done proposed to and forgot about it?
Well, now, there's a coincidence right there.
That's it.
I was just checking up on that very thing before you fellas come in here. I was halfway through my address book now. See there? Here it is. I was up to the L's.
Oh, the L's, huh?
Yeah, now, let me see the next one here. Eleanor. Now, I know I didn't propose to her.
Brother Andy, that one you can cross off.
Yeah. Now, the next L I got here is Elsie. I know I didn't propose to her neither. She's the big fat one with all the double chins.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing you with that one once. Yeah, she got a mess of double chins, all right.
Oh, yeah, I never knowed which was her chins and which was her lips. I never knowed where to kiss her.
You didn't, huh?
No, I finally worked out a system, though.
Oh, what was that, Andy?
I'd hold a piece of candy up to her face, and whatever opened up for it, that's what I'd kiss.
Yeah, that was a smart idea, sort of using the candy as sort of a rangefinder.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, up to now, Andy, you seem to be pretty much in the clear with the gal.
Yeah, I can't think of nobody that could cause me no suing trouble. Not a single gal. Wait a minute. There is one that I just thunk of that I might have proposed to. Yeah, there is one that I...
Well, hello, Henry.
Hello, boys. Hello. I was just out shopping with my wife. Thought I'd stop in. We met that Sylvia Adams. She was shopping for her trousseau.
That's the one. I remembers now. I proposed to her about 2 weeks ago when I was sitting on the sofa with her. When I asked her to marry me, she just smiled. I never did figure out whether she smiled yes or smiled no.
Well, from what I see of her shopping today, I would say that she definitely smiled in the affirmative.
Henry, is you sure that it was the trousseau that she was buying?
Well, I seen her buy a long white dress. It had orange blossoms embroidered all over it. She bought sort of a net veil that went over her head. And most important of all, there was a long train behind her.
Do that long train behind her make her a bride?
Brother Andy, don't make her no engineer.
No. Well, fellas, they got me again. I can't stand another breach of promise suit.
Well, what is he going to do?
Come on, Kingfish. We're going over to see my lawyer, Gabby Gibson.
So there he is, Gabby. Andy feels pretty sure that Sylvia Adams is going to sue him for breach of promise. Now, how are you going to handle the thing?
Well, first we got to see if we got a case. Yes, indeed, we got to see if we got a case. I know. We'll claim that Andy wasn't in his right man's mind when he proposed. He was a little touched in the head.
Oh, but Gabby, I was the same as I always is.
Good, we got a case.
But, Gabby, you don't get the idea. I don't want to be sued at all.
Oh, I see what you mean. You want to be what is known in the legal profession as sue-proof.
Yeah, that's exactly the idea, Gabby.
Well, to become sue-proof, there's only one way. If you was in the army, if you was a soldier, you couldn't be sued. Nobody can sue a soldier.
Well, wait a minute. You think I is in good enough condition to pass the physical for the army?
Oh, Andy, don't be crazy. You got all you can do to pass the physical for being a civilian.
Yes, indeed. I guess you're right. Look at that fat on him. Look at that fat.
Now, wait a minute, Gabby. There's plenty of muscle there.
Where, Andy? Where?
In my arm here. Feel it.
Let me feel. People's getting 2 red ration points for turning in that stuff.
Oh, wait a minute, I got another idea. Since Andy can't get in the army, why can't he borrow a soldier's uniform just long enough to see the gal and convince her that she can't sue him because he's in the army, and that will end it?
Oh, Kingfisher got a great idea. And it just so happens that Larry Simpson just got a medical discharge from the Army. I can borrow his uniform.
Yeah, and you certainly got a right to take these steps, because with all the breach of promise suits you has had, you sure been a victim. A victim of the law of supply and demand.
Supply and demand? How you figure that?
Well, it's always the women who supply the trouble, and the man who gets it. That's supply and demand if I ever had it. Yes.
Now let's go back to the Lodge Hall and hear the Mystic Knights of the Sea Quartet singing Runnin' Wild.
Lost control, running wild, mighty bold, feeling gay, reckless too, carefree mind all the time, never blue, always going, don't know where, always showing, I don't care, don't love my body, it's not a while, I'm all alone, running wild, I'm running wild, lost control, running wild, mighty bold, feeling gay, reckless too, carefree mind all the time, never blue. Wild. I'm just running wild, just running wild, just running wild.
Kingfisher, it was so nice of that fellow lend me his uniform. How'd it look on me?
Well, let me see here, Andy. The leggings look pretty good. The pants seem to fit all right. The jacket with the belt and, the brass buttons don't look bad neither. Only thing, Andy, why is you wearing that steel helmet?
Well, this fella I borrowed the uniform from done give his cloth hat to his little nephew for a souvenir, and all he had left was his helmet.
Yeah, now, the next thing we got to do, in case Sylvia Adams asks you, is to figure out what these campaign ribbons is on your chest, what they mean.
Oh, yeah, I got to know that.
Yeah, well, now, let me see here. There's red, red one there with some white stripes there. There's a yellow one with the green and blue in there. Hey, wait a minute. What's this pink ribbon? I ain't never seen one like that on a soldier before.
Oh, well, I slapped that one on there myself. Kind of helped the color scheme.
Yeah, but Andy, you can't do that. You see, every ribbon on there means that you has been in action. And pink means gals.
Well, then I really earned that ribbon.
Now, look here, Anna, look here. You might have been in a campaign with a gal, but they don't give ribbons for that. Now, wait a minute. That yellow ribbon there has got 2 little stars on it. Look at that, 2 stars. I wonder what that means.
Yeah, well, generals wear stars, don't they?
Hey, that's right, Andy. And you got 2 stars. Andy, you was a major general.
I is, huh? Oh, boy, that shows...
Hold it.
What's the matter?
You was a major general on the chest, but on your sleeve you was only a corporal.
Yeah.
Now, look here, it must be some other reason for them 2 stars. Oh, wait a minute. I remember now, I remember the thing. Reading it in the newspaper once. Yeah, you know that little bear there with the 2 stars. I remember reading it in the paper and said, them stars means battles that you was in.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, and we better decide what them battles was now, in case this Sylvia Adams asks you.
Yeah.
Now, let me think here. Let me see here now. What battle?
How about Bunker Hill?
There you go again. How can you say something stupid like that, Andy? The Battle of Bunker Hill wasn't in this war, Andy.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was in the last World War.
Well, where can I say the battle was? I gotta know where I've been fighting.
Yeah, I know what to tell her. Tell her you fought in the Battle of Sicily.
Yeah, well, where is Sicily?
I knew it was coming. Ain't no soldier ever been as ignorant as you is. If I was your lieutenant, I'd have you peeling potatoes for the rest of the war.
Yeah, well, where is Sicily?
Listen, dumbhead, Sicily is in the northern part of France.
Sicily in France?
In the northern part. Now, come here. Look on the wall here, on the map here, and show. Now, let me explain the thing to you with my finger.
Yeah.
Now, look at here. Sicily ought to be right about now. There's the northern part of France. Now, Sicily ought to be right about, see, there's the northern part we got here now.
Yeah. Hey, Kingfish, wait a minute. Look way down here by Italy. There's Sicily all by itself.
Where?
Right there.
Moved it right out of France, didn't it?
Oh, never mind. I'll think of something to tell her when I see her.
Now, look here. When you walk into her, though, when you walk in her house, act military like a soldier.
Oh.
Yeah, the more military you is, the more she'll believe you.
Yeah, well, I better be getting on over there.
Yeah, one more thing now.
What?
Now, look here. You don't look like a soldier with them sideburns on your face there. You better get yourself a military haircut.
Yeah, all right. I'll go right over to Shorty's barbershop and get one.
And listen, Andy, till this thing blows over, let people think you was a real soldier. That goes for Shorty, too.
Leave it to me, Kingfish. I'll see you later. Look, Shorty, don't look surprised. I've been in the Army since last week. I was a real soldier.
Yeah, and you was a corporal, too. They sure moved you up fast, didn't they?
Well, all you got to do is look at me, and you'll see why.
Yeah, you sure make a good soldier. You was a perfect fighting man. You was just the type they're looking for. The Army's certainly lucky to get you. They're taking anybody, ain't they?
Is that so? Listen, they was plenty glad to get me, and boy, it sure feel great being in the military service.
Yeah, I know. I was in the Navy once. I enlisted in the War of 1926.
Wait a minute, Shorty. There was no war in 1926.
Yeah, that's why I enlisted. It was safer.
So you was a sailor, huh, Shorty?
Yeah, but I didn't like it, though, Andy. I had to sleep in a hammock for 3 years, and I couldn't stand it. Then I found out what was wrong.
Yeah, well, what'd you find out?
You know something?
What?
You ain't supposed to hang both ends of the hammock from the same hook.
listen, I ain't got no more time left for talking. Let me put my helmet down here and get up in your chair. I want you to give me a military haircut.
You does?
Yeah.
What kind of a military haircut does you want, Andy?
What kind have you got?
Well, first there's the regular one where I cut the hair right down to about a half inch. Then there's the extreme one where I cut the hair down to the scalp. And then there's the permanent military haircut.
Permanent?
Yeah, no cutting. I just uproots the whole thing.
Well, give me the regular one, Shorty. Plug in them clippers and make it snappy.
Okay, Andy. Here we go. You sure got a bumpy scalp.
Shorty, hurry up and finish the haircut, will you?
Yeah, I'm doing as fast as I can, Andy, but it won't take long with the clippers. I'll be through in just a second. There you is.
Shorty, you didn't take too much off the top, did you?
Oh no, I left enough on top so you could you still have about an inch and a half. I left a big wave up there just like you. You got plenty of hair up there. You got plenty of. Hello, Baldy.
Ladies, this is the story of a bride.
My name's Sally Shepherd. I mean, Mrs. Jones. Call me Sally.
Sally really got a load of wedding presents.
And how? Got a big silver tray from Aunt Florence, a beautiful tablecloth from Cousin Ruth, and a lovely check from Uncle Jonathan.
But the one thing she wanted, really needed.
I couldn't get. There weren't any washing machines to be had.
So, wash day after wash day, Sally rubbed and Sally scrubbed. But Sally's wash, well, it wasn't what you'd call terrific. But then came the dawn. Sally found out about Rinso.
Lovely, soapy, rich Rinso. Even without a washing machine, wash day's much pleasanter. Rinso soaks my clothes clean.
Yes, ladies, as little as a 10-minute soaking, plus a few light rubs on extra grimy places, and clothes are ready to rinse. And what's more, Rinso gets clothes really clean. White clothes are not just white, but Rinso white. Washable colors come Rinso bright. Safely, even after scores of washings. No wonder Sally doesn't mind clothes washing these days.
Don't mind doing the dishes either. Rinso slicks them up in far less time. And Rinso's easy on my hands besides.
Ladies, try Rinso on the dishes tomorrow. And next wash day, for a wash that's Rinso white and Rinso bright.
Hello? Hello, Sylvia?
Oh, hello, Joan. How are you?
Sylvia, what's this I hear about you getting married? Somebody saw you trousseau shopping.
It's true, Joan. Remember John Winters? Well, he's coming back on furlough in 2 weeks, and we're going to get married.
John Winters? Why, Sylvia, I had an idea you were going to marry Andy Brown.
Andy Brown? Oh, Joan, I haven't completely lost my mind. Well, I did go out with him once or twice. As a matter of fact, he just called to say he was going to drop over here. But I've never given him a serious thought.
Well, that's wonderful about you and Johnny, Sylvia.
Oh, thank you, Joan. And when Johnny gets back... Oh, there's somebody at the door, Joan. That must be Andy now. But I'll talk with you over the weekend.
Okay, Sylvia. Goodbye.
Tommy! Why, Andy! That outfit! Oh, come in.
Okay. Forward, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, halt. Dismiss. Well, here I is.
Oh, Andy, I don't understand. Why, you weren't in the Army last week.
I was always in the Army. It was just that they put me in civilian clothes for a while doing Secret Service work.
Oh, what kind of Secret Service work?
I don't know. It was so secret they didn't even tell me.
Well, sit down, won't you, Andy?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take off my hat.
I'll take it.
Oh, never mind. I'll just toss it over here on the table. Oh, me. I forgot I had on my helmet. Sorry I busted that vase.
Oh, that's all right. But how is it that you're wearing a helmet around New York, Andy? Why, most of the fellas just wear overseas caps.
Oh, yeah, well, they probably ain't been the thick of it like I is. That's where you really get used to a helmet. Why, up at the battlefront, a helmet is like a second home to a soldier. He washes in it. He do his laundry in it. He even cooks in it.
Cooks in it? Really?
Yeah, oh, sure. I can remember lots of nights when I has been cooking supper in my helmet over the campfire. Suddenly the bugle blows. Charge the enemy. And I'd go into hand-to-hand fighting with a head full of Irish stew. Oh, yeah, I'd be combing dumplings out of my hair for weeks.
Well, this is very interesting, Andy. Come, sit here on the sofa with me and tell me more.
Sit on the sofa? That reminds me. A buddy of mine was sitting on the sofa with a gal, and they proposed to her and then retreated. She was going to sue him for breach of promise.
Oh, what happened?
Well, she found out that she couldn't sue him on account of you can't sue a man in uniform. How you like my uniform?
Well, I've noticed it, and I think it's very nice.
Oh, yeah, regulation, khaki, brass buttons, and sue-proof.
Oh, Andy, you don't have to stand. Sit down here on the sofa.
Yeah, well, that law about not being able to sue a man in uniform sure is funny, ain't it? You got a clearer picture of the thing.
Oh, yes, I understand thoroughly.
Good. How about a kiss, honey?
Andy, I just had a thought. I'd like you to meet my father. Now, you just wait here a minute. He's right in the next room. I'll go right and get him.
Okay. Oh, boy, everything working out great. Gabby sure had an idea there about gals not being able to sue a man in uniform. Eyes in the clear now. Having this uniform on has really saved the day. I might even propose to her again, you know it?
Andy?
Yep.
Corporal Brown, I'd like to have you meet my father, Major Adams.
Hello, Corporal. Glad to know you. Yeah. Is you a real soldier?
A real soldier?
Oh, Daddy, will you entertain Corporal Brown a few minutes? I must turn up and put some makeup on.
And me, too. I'll go with you.
Oh, sit down, Corporal.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to talk to a soldier that has the campaign ribbons on that you have. I see by your shoulder patch there that you're in the artillery.
Yes, sir.
Is that a mobile unit?
Mobile? Well, some of the boys are from Mobile, most of them from Birmingham.
You soldiers certainly have a sense of humor, all right. I'll say one thing, though. From those campaign ribbons you're wearing, you've certainly done a lot of fighting.
Oh, yes, sir. They used to call me Blood and Gutter Brown. Yes, sir. I've really been in a lot of battles on the Western Front.
The Western Front?
Yeah.
According to those campaign ribbons, you did all your fighting in the South Pacific.
I did? No wonder them Germans I shot look so slanty-eyed.
Brown, you're really quite a kidder. Say, wait a minute. Is that an oak leaf cluster I see there?
Oh, no, sir. That's geraniums. I busted the vase with my helmet.
No, I mean on your chest.
Oh, on my chest. Well, nice to meet up with you, Major. Say goodbye to Sylvia for me, will you? I got to rush back to camp.
I see. What camp are you stationed at?
What camp I stationed at?
Yes, which one?
Well, you go out here... I don't know how to explain it. It's in that direction, but I got to rush right over there, though, right now.
Wait a minute. Is it possible that you're stationed at Camp Upton?
Camp Upton. Yes, sir, that's the one, yeah. And I was late. I'm going direct there now.
Well, that's where I'm stationed.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yes, and I've great news for you, too.
What's that?
I'm driving back in my car right now, and I'll take you with me.
Amos, that was a great idea I had about having Andy make believe he was a soldier. Yeah, by the way, Kingfish, where is Andy? He went over to see Sylvia Adams in the uniform yesterday, and none of us has seen him since. Well, it's possible. Wait a minute, phone, I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Kingfish.
Oh, Andy, where's you been?
I was at Camp Upton.
Camp Upton? What are you doing there?
Well, it seems that Sylvia's father is a major at Camp Upton, and I told him I was stationed there, too, so he insisted on driving me back here, and they think I was in the Army.
Yeah, well, how can they think that, Andy? You ain't got no papers or nothing.
Well, they say that when fellows from overseas get back, sometimes their papers is a month late in arriving. And, you know, I got them overseas campaign ribbons on.
Yeah, well, now, don't worry. That'll straighten itself out, Andy, but the most important thing is Sylvia Adams convinced that you were sue-proof.
Yeah, she knows she can't sue me with this uniform on.
Oh, good, Andy, good. Then the whole thing was really a great idea.
Yeah, except for one thing.
Oh, what's that?
My battalion leaves for overseas in 2 hours.
Amos and Andy will be back again in just a moment. A Rinso whitewash.
With ease.
A Rinso bright wash.
With safety. Rinso white
For a wash that's white as it can be. Rinso bright.
B-R-I-G-H-T.
Yes, Rinso keeps your colors bright. Gets out more dirt for a wash so white. Here's great advice. You can't go wrong.
Rinso white.
Rinso bright. Happy little wash day song.
Rinso is easy on you, easy on your washable. Gives results that can't be beat. So make next wash day a Rinso wash day. And now, here are Amos and Andy.
Well, Andy, old boy, put it there, son.
Yeah.
So you finally got out of the Army, huh?
Yeah, I convinced them that I wasn't no soldier.
Yeah, well, you sure wasted a couple of days over at the camp.
Oh, they wasn't wasted. I met a cute little whack over there.
Oh, sure enough? How'd you make out?
Well, I got another pink campaign ribbon.
Be sure to be with us again next Friday evening at this same time, when the makers of Rinso will again present the Amos and Andy Show. This program is broadcast to our armed forces all over the world. This is Harlow Wilcox saying good night to all of you from all of us. Say, ladies, would you deny your own boy medicine if he were ill? Help if he needed help? You know, the waste kitchen fats you save and turn into your butcher are used for military medicines, military supplies. Those waste fats are urgently needed. And if you're not saving every drop you possibly can, you may be denying your own fighting man help it is in your power to give. Save every drop of used fat. Take it to your butcher regularly. He'll give you 4 cents and 2 red points for every pound.
It's only human to perspire. Everybody does. Smart people know that no one is safe from BO. That's why they use Lifebuoy in their daily bath. It gives all over head-to-toe protection, and it's lasting protection. Remember, Lifebuoy is the only soap that's especially made to stop BO.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Hello, are you there? Well, we're here.
Want a soap that's pure and gentle? Come on, swing to Swan.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, presents the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singers, Jimmy Cash, yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the 6 hits and a miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Well, today is the season's first meeting of Gracie Allen's club, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society. Last year, George said the girls couldn't meet at his home again. He put his foot down. As we look in now, George is about to put his other foot down.
Gracie, will you come out of there a minute? Look, Gracie, I'm starved. I haven't had any breakfast. Is the meeting about over?
Oh, we haven't even started. Blanche Morton, Clara Bagley, and Tootsie Stagwell haven't arrived yet.
Well, then, what have you girls been talking about?
Blanche Morton, Clara Bagley, and Tootsie Stagwell.
Look, I've got to get some food. I'm going into that other room and break that meeting up.
Change your mind, dear?
Yes, no man can face that on an empty stomach. What are they laughing at?
Well, they can't wait for Blanche Morton to come in with one of those idiotic hats of hers.
Fine way to talk about a club member.
But, George, you should see Blanche's new hat. It's the silliest thing. It has a big bunch of grapes on one side, and 3 sunflowers on the other side, and a stuffed seagull sticking up in the front, and ribbons hanging down the back.
Well, that sounds pretty silly.
Sure, nobody's wearing ribbons.
Well, get these gals out of here. I'll see you later. I'm going out to...
Oh, wait, George.
Yes?
On your way back, will you buy a present for my brother Willie? He's going in the army, you know.
All right. What do you want me to get him?
Well, he said they might send him to Iceland, so you better get him a night shirt. Oh, no, in fact, buy him 3 night shirts. I'll sew them together.
You're going to sew 3 night shirts together?
Mm-hmm. The nights are much longer up in Iceland.
Yes, and I'll get him 2,000 sleeping pills, too.
Come in.
Hello, Gracie, dear.
Why, Blanche Morton, how are you, Blanche?
Oh, wonderful. There's no use asking how you are, Gracie. You look simply radiant. Oh, it's so nice seeing you again.
Hello, Mrs. Martin.
How do? Are the girls here yet, Gracie?
Well, yes, most of them, Blanche. They're in the library. Go right in.
All right. I was telling you, I got it. Why, Blanche, what a perfectly adorable hat.
Sweet bunch of girls. If you serve them milk, be sure to put it in the saucer. Paul? Gracie, I've got to go.
Oh, wait, George.
Yeah?
Don't get Willie a night shirt for Iceland. That's silly.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's ridiculous.
Get him a yo-yo. They might send him to Egypt.
A yo-yo?
Uh-huh. He's always wanted one, but he's too lazy to make it go up and down.
Well?
Well, in Egypt they ride on camels, so Willie just sits and holds the yo-yo, and
the camel goes up and down. was silly of me not to figure that out. I certainly am.
Come in. Why, Clara Bagley.
Oh, Gracie, I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's all right. We can't start the meeting until Tootsie Sagwell gets here.
Oh, I've got the most miserable headache. That's why I brought this ice bag with me.
Oh, well, here, Clara, take off your hat and put the ice bag on your head. There. Oh. Now, you'll feel better in a few minutes. Now, go into the library. The girls are right there now.
Why, Clara, what a perfectly adorable hat!
With these dames, Harper Bazaar must fold up. Gracie, if you can break up this hen party, I'm going out and
Hi, George. Hello, Gracie.
Oh, good morning, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Well, what's wrong with you, George? You look about as happy as General von Bach with a calendar in one hand and a thermometer in the other.
I'll tell you what's wrong. On account of Gracie, I'm starving.
Oh, brother, are you confused?
You certainly are a scream.
Well, I guess the girls are getting impatient in there. I'll go in and tell them we'll start as soon as Tootsie gets there.
Come on, Bill. I'll buy you a cup of coffee. The house is overrun with a bunch of gabby women.
Well, you know, I sympathize with you, George. If there's one thing that gets on your nerves, it's a gabby dame.
Yeah, it's murder. Come on, let's go.
You know, one of them collared me on a street corner just now and almost talked me to death, George. All I said was good morning. And, brother, that did it. She comes right back with, what's new? Well, I had to answer, so I told her that Swan is new. The new white floating soap that's great for washing dishes because it gives you suds faster than other floating soaps, even in hard water.
The gabby woman.
Oh, brother. Well, I tell you, I tried to tear myself away from her, George, but quick as a flash, she shoots another question at me. Is that so, she said.
Oh, yes, very talkative, very talkative. Come on, I'm starved. I gotta eat.
Well, George, I couldn't walk away without saying yes, so I said it. Yes, I said. Swan is the mild, pure soap that not only gives you suds for dishes, but suds for every soap and water job in the house. Baby, gentle suds that are so easy on your hands.
Yeah, by now she talked your ear off.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah, 2 ears, yes.
Well, I thought sure I'd cut the conversation short, see, but oh, no.
Oh, no.
Just as I'm tearing myself away, what do you think she said? Goodbye.
Oh, what a tongue lashing.
Goodbye, I says. Well, Swan is more than a goodbye. It's terrific. Why, you can break each bar of Swan in 2 and get 2 swell cakes of soap. One to use in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning, and the other to use in the bathroom for your hands and face or for your tub or shower.
Bill, please, breakfast. I'll order Swan soap on toast.
Oh, well, okay, that's all anyway. I finally tore myself away.
Well, fine. Come on, I'm stuck. Say, Bill, what's that you're holding in your hand?
Well, what do you know? It's the lapel off that woman's coat.
That was nice tearing. Bill, come on.
Oh, George, I'm glad you're still here. Never mind that yo-yo for Willie.
Sure, too silly.
Yes. Get him a picture frame. He might go to Alaska.
A picture frame?
Yes, I'll put a picture of my sister Bessie in it, and he can hang it in the barracks.
Sister Bessie? Maybe the rest of the boys would rather have a picture of Lana Turner.
Oh, don't worry. After the boys have been in Alaska a few months, Bessie will look just as good to them.
Well, okay. Go back to the meeting.
Oh, Gracie, you just missed the cutest thing. Blanche Morton said in her opinion, George Burns was absolutely...
Well, let's go, George.
Wait a minute. I want to hear the rest of that.
Well, George, looks like we'll never know, doesn't it?
Come on.
This is Paul Whiten. Jimmy Cash has picked a mighty popular tune for a song tonight. It's White Christmas. Okay, Jimmy.
The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees wave. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, L.A. Listen and children listen to
never see 50 again.
Come to order, Blanche. My goodness, how many times do I have to remind you that when I rap with the gavel, we drop all these petty discussions and get right down to business? Who are you talking about?
Maggie Ettinger. She says that she's only 35.
Well, personally, I think she's very honest and straightforward. I've known her for years, and she's always said she's 35. Now, settle down, girls, and I'll read the minutes. The last weekly meeting of the Beverly Hills Uplift Society was supposed to be held at the home of Mrs. Gruskin, but Mr. Gruskin locked all the doors and threatened us with a garden hose. It was then decided that the meeting should be held at the home of Mrs. Taylor, whose husband was confined to his bed with a nervous breakdown. Before the meeting, we all showed our appreciation by gathering around Mr. Taylor and singing, for he's a jolly good fellow. By the way, Mrs. Taylor, how is your husband?
Oh, he's at the Good Samaritan now.
Well, that's nice. Such a lovely hospital. Well, back to the minute. The president of the club, Mrs. George Burns, then made our annual Friendship Award. This year, the congenial spirit of our organization was best represented by those two lifelong friends, Mrs. Martin and Mrs. Bagley. The award was made in the form of two china lovebirds, one of which was slightly cracked. In the struggle to see who would get the one without the crack, both lovebirds were broken. Mrs. Morton lost a tooth, and Mrs. Bagley sustained bruises and lacerations.
If Clara Bagley wasn't such a stunner,
never in the history of our club has this honor been so richly deserved. At the conclusion of the meeting, our hostess, Mrs. Taylor, served spaghetti, which she said was made from an old family recipe. It was delicious.
Oh, well, thank you, Gracie.
Miss Stagwell later on went into Mrs. Taylor's kitchen, and she reported that she found several empty cans and that the name of the old family which made the recipe was Heinz.
Oh, the low, snoopy trick.
And that concludes the minutes, girls. Now, is there any new business?
May I have the floor, Madam President?
The chair recognizes Miss Stagwell. What is it, Tootsie?
Well, as you know, we're having a lot of trouble getting new members for our club because so many women are busy with war work. But I have an idea.
You have?
Mm-hmm. Let's take some men in our club.
Gracie, can I see you a minute?
Oh, all right, dear. Excuse me, girls.
Gracie, isn't that silly meeting over? If you girls were doing something important like war work, I wouldn't mind.
Well, we do war work, George. We knit all the time. Well, we've had sweaters and things sent back to us from every camp in the country.
I know, but those silly discussions you have in there. Why don't you discuss something important like the shortage of meat or the...
Oh, all right, dear. Now, don't get excited. We can talk it over quietly. Sit down. Sit down, dear. Calm yourself.
Okay. I'll sit down. Oh, darn that silly duck. He's always underfoot.
He wasn't that time.
Well, okay. I'm sorry I sat on him.
Oh, now, hush. Herman, Daddy, and I are discussing the meat situation. What's that? Well, you see, Herman, there's a shortage of meat in this country. That's because we ship a lot of it abroad to our brave allies and our boys fighting all over the world. See? So, people on the home front like your mommy and your daddy must eat less meat. After all, we don't want our fighting men to go hungry, do we? Now, what would you do to anybody who tried to take the meat away from our soldiers? That's right, Herman. So our government suggests that we limit ourselves to 2.5 pounds of meat a week for each person. In that way, we all have our share. And then, too, when we have a meat rationing... Rationing? Well, you see, rationing means that everybody, rich and poor alike, shares what there is equally. That's the American way. Oh, you bet. And the time to start cutting down on the meat we eat is right now, before rationing. After all, there are still large supplies of other things to eat instead, such as eggs, fish, poultry. What's poultry? Well, chicken, turkey, or a duck. I don't mean you, dear, but poultry is delicious. Oh, now, baby darling, Mama wouldn't eat you in a million years.
Yes, but Papa might. Go on.
Now, go on, Herman. Off to your room. Isn't he cute? Look at him waddle off.
Yeah. He's got the cutest drumsticks.
I've got to go back to the meeting, George. And I'll tell the girls what you said.
And you can talk about pooling, too. About pooling their cars and other things. In times like these, we should share and share alike.
All right, dear, I will.
Well, I know that you
And now, girls, I have something very important to say. I've just been having a little talk with George, and he says from now on we girls should pool things. Pool our cars, pool our food.
Well, as long as we don't have to pool George.
Oh, I wouldn't think of it, Clara. Now, we're going to start right away, girls. We'll pool everything we can.
Well, that's a very good idea.
Where will we start? Oh, I know. We'll pool George's cigars. You girls divide them up and take them home to your husband.
Oh,
but remember, girls, this is share and share alike. So after your husbands have smoked half of each cigar, bring what's left back to George.
Many years ago, we recorded a miniature classic called Manhattan Serenade. Now it's all dressed up, and it's the #1 hit. Which just goes to show you can't keep a good tune down.
That night in Manhattan was the start of it. Do-do-do-do-do. We lived it and we loved every part of it. Do-do-do-do-do. The glow of moonlight in the park. The light that spells your name. The autumn breeze that fanned the spark that set our hearts aflame. Our kiss was the sky right to the highest star.
so proud of you. Because of what you said, our club has already buckled down and started fooling things.
Well, I just saw my duty.
Oh, just think. Your speech made us better Americans.
Oh, it was nothing a fireside chat couldn't have done.
Oh, you know, dear, I think you're just as good a speaker as the president.
Now, Gracie, let's not be silly. Me as good as the president. That's ridiculous. My friends, he's better than I am.
Well, anyway, I'm proud of you. If I had my choice of all the husbands in the world, I'd still take you.
Well, thanks.
Let people say I'm crazy.
Oh, sure. What do we care?
I mean every word of it. I think you're a great man, George. And you know what I always say? Great men in the stand remind us footprints make our lives sublime. And if in time we are departing, we can leave ourselves behind.
Yes.
That's what I always say.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, too. Well, I think I'll make myself comfortable and finish that story in the Saturday Evening Post. Where are my slippers?
Harry Morton has them.
Harry Morton?
Well, I told you we already buckled down and started pooling things here. You're in a slipper pool.
A slipper pool?
Well, it's really more of a clothing pool. Harry Morton took your slippers, your bathrobe, and your lounging pajamas.
Now, Gracie, that's the
wait,
silly...
George. He said that you can go over and help yourself to any of his suits.
Really?
Yes. Here. He left you these torn tickets.
Oh, fine. Gracie, you see...
I'm so proud of you. This was all your idea. You're a great man, George.
Oh, all right, I'll do it the hard way. Without slippers, I'll read the Saturday Evening Post.
You're in a magazine pool, too.
Oh.
Mrs. Gruskin took your magazine and left you one of hers.
What magazine did she leave?
Oh, you'll love it. The Welders Weekly.
Now, wait a minute.
You're a great man,
Oh,
George.
sure. A barefooted great man with nothing to read. Well, I'm going upstairs to shave.
George, was General Grant a great man?
Well, of course he was.
You're just like him.
I'm like General Grant?
Mm-hmm. I've seen his picture, and I don't think he had a razor either.
Gracie, don't tell me.
A shaving pool. Yeah. And Mr. Bagley took your razor and your brush and your shaving cream.
Well, that leaves me in fine shape.
But it's Sharon. Cheryl likes George. In exchange, you get his dirty hat.
Derby hat? What's that got to do with shaving?
You put your old lace in it.
Gracie, when I...
You're a great man,
George. Yes, I'm great. I wonder where they asked for now, huh?
Gracie, hide me.
What's trouble, Bill?
Well, Tootsie Sagwell's outside, and I don't want her to see me.
Bill! Darling!
Oh, Tootsie Sagwell.
I thought it was you I was running after. I recognized you on a desert island. I wish.
Well, so long, Tootsie. I have to run.
Oh, wait, Bill. You know what you asked me to do last week? Well, I did it.
Oh, Tootsie, you didn't.
Yes, I sent for one of those Swan encyclopedias.
Oh, well, that's a great book, Tootsie. And I know you love it.
Oh, wait, Bill. I did something for you now. How about doing something for me? Like walking home with me.
Well, Tootsie, how do I know you really got the Swan encyclopedia? Does the one you sent for have 832 pages? Does it have over 1 million words on more than 15,000 subjects from art to zoology? Are you sure that you have the Swan encyclopedia?
Well, of course, Bill.
Well, does it have a special March of Events section covering world news and events right up to this past September, huh?
I know I've got the Swan encyclopedia, Bill. Come over to my house and see it for yourself. I keep it right in the middle of the sofa.
Well, some other time, Tootsie.
But Bill, I thought you might come over and explain the war maps to me.
Oh, now, Tootsie, the maps in the Swan encyclopedia don't need explaining. Those 8 pages of war maps in color make it easy for anyone to follow the world situation at a glance. In fact, whenever I listen to the news, I keep my Swan encyclopedia maps right in front of me, and I mark important developments right on them.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Why don't you bring your war maps over to my house and we'll compare them? I think it'd be nice to get our maps together.
Now, Tootsie, listen to reason. My goodness, you know that anybody can get a Swan encyclopedia by sending 25 cents in a Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, thousands of women are sending their quarters in Swan wrappers to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin, and those women don't expect me to come to their houses.
But Bill, I'm different from other women.
Yes? And that's just the trouble, Tootsie. Goodbye.
Well, Tootsie, it seems as if you and Bill just never get together.
Oh, well, maybe I'm just as smart to keep him guessing. Goodbye.
What a day. Gracie, where's the aspirin? I've got a terrible headache.
Oh, that's too bad. Why don't you take some cod liver oil or some citronella?
Well, what's wrong with aspirin?
Well, you're in a medicine pool.
A medicine pool?
You're a great man, George.
I know. I ought to be in Grant's tomb.
Come in. Oh, it's little Billy Marks from next door. How are you, Billy?
Okay. Well, come on, turn on the radio.
Turn on the radio.
You heard me. I'm in your radio pool.
Now, just a minute,
Oh,
kid.
now, George, I told him to come over.
Well, okay. What do you want to hear, Sonny? A little music?
Music? Well, get him. Turn on Frank Fearless, the commando.
Why, for 2 cents I
George,
was...
George.
Well, okay.
And so, bound and gagged, weak from a dozen knife wounds, suffering from the 4 bullet holes in his chest and choking from the deadly monoxide gas, Frank Phillips gives a sigh of irritation. His boat has sprung a leak. Tune in again tomorrow night for another great installment of Frank Phillips, the Commando.
Now I missed the whole program.
Well, I'm tickled to death. Now beat it.
No,
You said it. Believe me, lady, if he was my father instead of yours, I'd...
Go on, out.
You're a great man,
Oh,
George.
stop that. I told you the pool thing, but I didn't mean only pool my thing. Either you do it the right way or you don't do it at all. Do you understand?
Yes, dear.
And remember that.
Yes, dear.
Suggesting an idea to you. I must be nuts.
Yes, dear.
Well, I'm going upstairs. Only everything I own. Might have known this would happen. Oh, boy, am I worn out. I'll jump into bed. Oh, does this bed feel good?
Certainly does.
Why, Harry Morton!
Yeah, I'm in your bed pool.
Say, folks, hurry and send in for your Swan Encyclopedia now, because honestly, we're afraid we might have to withdraw our offer pretty soon. It's a great buy, the kind of book everyone can use, especially children who have homework to do. So send your quarter and Swan wrapper in tonight. Send them to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. That's Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. We'll send your big 832-page encyclopedia to you immediately. Remember, Swan now brings you 2 of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin for George and Gracie saying, well, hi, Swan. How about you? Good night.
Try. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try. You're sure to hear your family shout what a delight. For cake, pie, donuts, the things you try. Try. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.